Good morning, traders. Who's ready to get back into the action? It's another action-packed day. In just a second, right now, we're getting PPI. We need to focus and see what happens with that. That could shake up the market right now. You guys are seeing IWM take a little bit of a downturn. The SPY take a little bit of a downturn. Let's see what happens. And of course, we'll talk all the bank earnings. And didn't I tell you guys about how Citi loves to shake up the bank earnings? This morning, JPM down, Wells Fargo down, then Citi came in. Let's check it out, team. Let's get to the action. Good morning, team. How we doing out there? Who's ready to get into the action? You guys know where you're at. The next day is here, and it's time to keep trading, team. A lot to take a look at the action right now. We'll go ahead and go take a look at the screens here. And of course, like always, team, take a look at what's going on this morning. We'll see what happens with that PPI report. I'm pulling it up right now, getting that ready here. And like always, guys, it's always fun when numbers come out right at 8:30, right? So here it is, guys, year-over-year number coming in here. We got year-over-year at 2.6% versus a 2.3% estimate, prior being 2.2. So getting a nice little help there on the PPI. You guys can also see the month-over-month outlook was at 0.2 versus a 0.1 estimate, prior being in the negatives. So right here, let's take a look at the action. How is that affecting the market? We first got a down wick there and coming right back up. This could actually be a shake to the downside. Remember yesterday we had kind of that blow off top on the CPI report where we went up on the report, then came down. Now we're coming down on the report and could just come right back up. So just be careful out there today, guys. I feel like PPI could shake things up the same way that happened yesterday, and we'll see what happened out there, guys. You're going to take a look to see what's going on in these stocks. We'll go to the playbook and the sunrise report. There is so much to look at this morning, guys. So definitely smash the like if you guys are looking at a stock or two. I'll definitely take a look at some of these. And there's so much to like in the market this morning. Taking a look to see what else is out there right now. I did see a top mover that I was looking at this morning. But let's take a look at the Citigroup, because I just want to note that, I mean, look at this, guys. First action was to the downside. Now back up there towards 68. Was thinking about playing it this morning when the earnings came out. The spread was about $1 wide, and that's probably what kept me out of it, was right here at the 65.50s. I had a feeling we'd get a turnaround right back in Citigroup. We'll take a look at the actual earnings, but I don't think you guys are stressing too much about the earnings right now. More long stretching about the price action. JPM, as soon as that comes out, guys, it was down here around the 205.27s. It was a great time to maybe get that swing right back up towards the upside. Could have got like $2 on the name already. I haven't seen the Wells Fargo chart, but hey, this has actually haven't moved as much. And this one, Wells Fargo low, as I like to call it. I'll tell you one thing, guys. I think in the long run, I don't think Wells Fargo will exist. And that's why I don't trade it at all. We'll see what else is out there. Can you answer some questions? Yeah, depends on the question. I mean, this is a really, really random question. Can you answer questions on questions? Well, you got to tell me what the question is. Maybe I can answer it. All right, what's up out there, Eric? Finally found the trade around noon yesterday. Hey, shout out to you, man. And I hope that you guys were able, or someone out was able to short Tesla yesterday, as boy, oh boy, what a crackdown. And I was shorting this in the 267s. Eventually got stopped out with the rest of the order size. But man, if I would have been able to keep some of that, this would have been an insane win. We're talking about a drop of what, 30, 40 points, guys. So, hey, that's how it happens sometimes, team. You got to continue taking shots. Tesla, I've been talking about it for a while, that would have what? A big red day. And what would I be looking to? I'd be looking for a pullback to the 9 EMA, right? And what happened yesterday? Right to that 9 EMA around the 240s. There you guys see it. And you guys saw the lines that I was drawing. The big thing for me was now the 265, where we're just going to reject going above this close from the 10th. And that's exactly what happened. Now the takedowns there in Tesla. Now at this point, you can also look for a potential takedown in AMD. I know it's up there towards 186, but this could easily come right back towards 170. So I do want to put that on the radar, or maybe the 9 EMA of 176 into play. It's going to be a lot of a shake out there, but let's keep going, guys. Let's go to, of course, the playbook action here. I do got some playbook for us this morning, and it's not stocks that we always talk about. So let's take a look at the action. First one up we want to talk about is American Tower Corp. Let's take a look at this action. So this stock is one that I've been pointing at for a while now. And the big thing for me is the 200 level, right? I've been talking about this for a while. I know that if you guys that have been here probably have even heard me mention American Tower Corp. So the big thing is right here, you're going to see a big trend line here. So I'm going to draw this for you guys, but you guys can see it here on the line, how this has come back. And if you look on the monthlies, you can actually draw it from all the way from the top here. So looking for a move back through the 208, that's going to be especially important. And right now we're just breaking through that, and we can look for pullbacks on this, right? Pullbacks back down to the 204 spot. Yesterday, finally getting above that 200 on the hourly and making a little run here, right? It started at the opened at the 201, came down towards 200 right on the spot and ripped up off of that, right? So now I can look for pullbacks towards 204 to maybe play this play. And of course, in REITs, we can take a look at different REITs here. You got EQIX in the same space there that's starting to get hot. I would keep an eye out on a lot of these guys, because what did I see yesterday? I saw a trend change in real estate where it started to get hot. CCI, Crown Castle. Look at this chart, right? There's so many of these that are going to be looking good. And a lot of this is what? Sector outlook, right? So we see real estate got a nice little push yesterday, and we want to keep watching to see which one of these industries really starts to take the move, right? So if I look at this, I see real estate general getting a nice little lift here on the daily. That's looking good. Real estate services, that's starting to look good there. Diversified, really pushing, right? Healthcare, really pushing. Healthcare has been probably the strongest area here. Hotels and motels, probably the weakest. There, you guys see it. Industrials getting that nice little lift. Even office REITs starting to push. So that's what I want to be keeping my eyes on. Residential and healthcare seems to be the strongest. Retail also getting a lift. So there's plenty of names here that we can watch. Now we just need to kind of take a look at the big boys to see what happens to those, like PLD, Prologis. You can keep a watch on these names. I'll see what happens with these. I definitely would like to see these start to make a nice lift. And this is if we get the continued downside action, right? So if you're going to get the continued downside action, continuing to look at these names is not a bad area. All right, let's keep going, guys. Green on Toyo. Toyo was an easy kind of trade there, Bullseye. I hope you were able to nail that one. This morning, I even was looking at that one, and I'm telling you guys, I need to start taking more pre-market trades. But the real key for me is that I'm really busy in the morning trying to set up for everything. But right here, I felt like it was like the real nice spot here was for this 220 kind of recovery off the 9 EMA. You can look here off the 1 minute. I'll show you guys that and how it was right there off this kind of recovery for the 225 spot. Nice little breakout. I would have been playing this breakout, probably selling it already. Now at this point at the 306, it's kind of hard to play, but does look good here. Toyo, nice looking name there. I'm glad you're able to nail it in the morning, Bullseye. Let's keep getting after it. Zap, I did see go up for a little while. This is one that I actually will be looking for a short today. With Tesla coming right back down, as long as Tesla doesn't make a huge rip today, all these auto manufacturers that are up, I think they're going to start crashing back down. So we can take a look at the RSI ones that are really high up, like let's say Ford. Ford's at 1350s. There's no reason. Ford hasn't been coming out with good news here. This is running off of sympathy from Tesla. So at this point, I could look for this to start turning back to the downside. Same thing goes for Rivian. It's on that kind of explosion up, riding the move from Tesla, and could come crashing down. Yesterday, we were looking at this VFS, another stock that we just started moving. And the person that brought it in here, hey, shout out to you, because you brought it up here at 440s, and the stock's now went all the way up to 5 yesterday, trading right now at 495. These are stocks that really don't have fundamental news that's coming out. It's just pure technicals squeezing these out and could come right back down. devil's horn on the hourly suggests a pullback. We'll see what happens there, day trade Tony. Definitely one that it will be on the watch for the short side. If you're looking at it, I'm looking at it. Just understand there's plenty of traders that are probably looking at this to the short side. So one thing that we need to be kind of looking for is hourly kind of attempts to hold pullback. So right now, what do we have? We have like somewhat like a kind of a cup, right? Kind of forming here. And really, we need to start taking a look at those hourly levels to see if they recover. Right now on the 15-minute, you are trying to make that move and holding in within this kind of symmetrical triangle. You guys can see it, call it a pennant, whichever way you want to call it. The big thing now is, does it start to hold this and break up towards the 13s? I'm going to give it that attempt to come back towards a major level on the hourly. So there was some hourly resistance over here in the 14s, letting it go to 14 first, and then trying to short it later in the day towards 9. Because I think that you might get just a relief pop in Tesla. Relief pop meaning that you just get that nice little push out the open and then eventually start to see this fade. There's no reason why Tesla can't come back towards like maybe like 250 today on the hourly. I always look at these for shorts. Come back towards hourly wick, like that first down candle that you see here. Saw how it broke and it comes back and makes a high here. That's a big level to watch for the stock to come back to that level and then get the next fade. So we'll see what happens there in Tesla. All right, Zap got you. Hey, it is what it is, man. Let's keep going. Another one that's on the playbook today is XLE. I know I've mentioned this one plenty of times. I've gotten it right and wrong. What I mean by that is on the swing trade, I've been in the green, and then all of a sudden it comes back and stops me out. I do want to continue to watch this one, and it is on the radar for the swing trade action especially. Right now in the swing trade side of things, guys, I have no positions on, and a big part of that is what happened yesterday with that turnaround. You guys can see it. No positions on right now. I'm watching to see what happens here in XLE to see if we can get above 90.80s this morning and start to push past towards the 92. Right now, this is something that I want to see continue to lift. And a big part of it is looking at WTI 83.50s. We've seen it already go up here towards 84s. Haven't seen a close in there towards the 85. So if you see this, and shout out to Market Watch, we'll give you a little love there. Definitely look to see if this gets back there towards the 85s today. If that could happen, you could get these oil stocks to rip right back up towards the upside. XOM recently broke down towards the low and now could start playing recovery, right? We'll see what happens on a day like this. Yesterday coming right back up. Valero, you guys know I've been stopped out of that one multiple times. PSX, names like this, keep your watch. We'll see what happens on them, and we'll see if oil can really get going. Here's another one that I was looking at yesterday that actually didn't make a bad move. It just kind of hung out there. And with that being said, I'm keeping a close eye on Pfizer today. We were talking about the risk yesterday being into this red box. It didn't break the red box. It came low towards that. It went towards 28.50s, 28.44s. Didn't break that 43 spot. Now starting to recover going into the green. So I put it on the radar, on the playbook here. The big thing for me on this Pfizer is that you got to get back through the purple line. The purple line is right above it. You guys can see it right there. So that's going to be the 200 exponential moving average. That's going to be a big spot to watch today to see if we close above. If we get above, let's say, the 29.60 spot and start to close, it's 29.61 to be exact, and start to close up here towards especially this 30.28 and up towards the 30 spot is already giving you a nice little sign. If you can get through that level, you can start to see that there was a big amount of supply that has been bought up here compared to recent past. As this was coming down, you saw low volume. As of late, you've seen a lot of volume try to get in Pfizer and turn this thing around, especially down here when it was at the lowest and it came back to that spot. And what did you see? This is a telling sign. When you go down to that bottom and you got this much amount of volume, right? You guys see the volume spike there. Watch when you came back to that level. It was right around here. And what happens? You're seeing volume pops right off of those attempts towards those bottoms. So what does that tell me? That's not probably longs letting go. That's probably longs getting in. And on this action right here, we got a really nice pop on the turnaround. So that also tells me that traders are lining in into Pfizer, and this could get ready to go. You guys know I like to be a little bit early to the move, like I was in AMD and Tesla, but that just tells me to keep watch on these, and we'll see what happens. Yesterday, I did let go of the fast mover in Palantir. I had to take the money and run in this one, guys. This was an amazing trade for me, guys. Was watching this for a long time. It didn't get to the 30s, and with the market kind of pulling back, that's where I'm a little bit concerned, because the pullback could easily come back to 24 today, and then I'd give up all the gains. That's not what I do, guys. I take the money and run. A lot of times, especially in moments like today and yesterday, where you saw rotation go essentially against us, right? So a lot of times in my swing trade, I've learned this, and I've learned this through experience, right? When the market goes against me, I'm going to clear out positions, right? Because when the market's going against me, everything can just go ahead and just get cut. Because the truth is, I've seen it plenty of times where I'm in a good position, really great position, and I let the market come against me, and I just give up all the gains. There's a lot better moment where I do this, where it's zeroed out. I don't have any positions on, and I can start taking a look at what do I want to take a look at moving forward from this, right? Where's the next swings looking like? We'll see what happens. Like always, smash the like if you guys like the playbook. Every single morning, we're putting this out on Twitter. And yes, I'm getting the Sunrise Report out on Twitter for you guys. Smash the like. It'll be a little shortened version, but enough to give you guys the good stuff. And for those that want to continue for the full report, you got to join the Discord, guys. That's what it's all about. We want to have a great community for you guys to be available to trade all day, every day. And don't forget, right, you still got Tim out there that does a lot of education on that Discord that can give you guys a nice step up. All right, guys, in a second here, we're going to go over to, of course, the Sunrise Report. Like always, guys, smash the like. We got a lot to talk about here in the market. We'll see what happens on Citi as Citi starts to pull back here around the 67, 60s. But that's actually helping the market, right? This little shake right back in the financials is going to help us right now. We're trying to get back here. We did do the shake to the downside, and we're right back up to 557. Let's see if we go back to that level today. I highly doubt it. That's at 555.19, but it's probabilities, guys. Anything could happen, right? We'll see what happens, and keep throwing up stocks in your watch list. I'm going to make a completely new list for us today, and we'll add some names in just a second here when we're done with the Sunrise Report. Like always, team, the Sunrise Report is to give you guys an advantage in the morning. Get your watch list ready. Like always, I do a lot of research to kind of give you this, guys, and give you the information quick and easy, right? All right, let me take a little sip of coffee. Let's keep it going. Pinky's out today, guys. Where's my wolf pack, guys? Where's my wolf pack, guys? I need my wolf pack out there. I know you guys are out there. I'm with you guys today. You know what, Wolfpack, we're going to need to start having a little howl in here. I need to get a howl noise, and we do a little howl, because the truth is we're all in this together, man. Let's keep it going, guys. It's Trade the Pool. Smash the like if you guys are enjoying the action. Let's wake you guys up a little bit here. Let's keep it going. Let's get into the Sunrise Report. Let's talk about the action that's going on right now. Of course, you guys see the SPY getting a nice little lift. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so we keep watch on what's going on here. But let's start it off here with the Sunrise Report. Of course, this morning we're taking a look to see what goes on. Welcome to the Sunrise Report, guys. We got a packed show for you guys today. So let's go ahead. Let's dive right into the action. There's so much to talk about. I'll be watching to see what I can get into today. But like always, there's so many trades to take a look at, guys. We'll see what's going on this morning. First one up, PPI. Let's take a look at that action off of this. Of course, we've talked about the numbers. The biggest relationship to watch today is going to be the relationship of IWM and the Qs. You guys saw it yesterday. A lot of traders talking about this. Who was talking about this before the pop, guys? Created this on the 10th. Was looking for this to make the move. And boy, oh boy, it should have gave me the sign that the big boys were coming down if the small caps wanted to move. We drew this line, and boy, oh boy, we opened up here yesterday at 207, now got up there towards the resistance. Now that we're above this, we can look for quick pullbacks. That's one thing that I'm going to be looking for in the IWM. Do you come back to 210 before we take the next lift on this. And of course, a lot of the media taking a look at this action, the narrative yesterday, focusing on this, seeing what would happen with the IWM, and a lot of people saying that the reason this happened was because of interest rate talks. That's not what it was, team. At the end of the day, the CPI kind of did the trick. It does this before, guys, where it does this like blow off top. And then what happens is you're not noticing it, but the big boys were actually shorting into that move and covering into that move. And so we're all looking at it like it's a breakout. And all of a sudden, boom, the stocks start to come down. Profit taking, guys, profit taking happening yesterday. And a lot of that in what? In your NVIDIA, right, guys? So be careful out there. NVIDIA profit takers definitely coming in here. And one telling sign can be increased volume on the downturn. And now you're getting that. So increased volume here, tells me that you're starting to get some profit taking in NVIDIA, and this could actually cause a change. The biggest change that I want to watch is the strong boys like Apple, like Google, like Amazon. They rejected the 200 move. Do we go back to 200? That's the only way the Qs are coming back here. If not, we're going to be on a little bit of a decline, and we could be coming back towards the 471, the 50 exponential moving average on the Qs. I will continue to watch that. Let's get into today's headlines, though. What's moving the market today? Let's go to JPM here. JPM reported Q2 earnings here coming in, and it really wasn't that bad. They reported Q2 adjusted EPS of $4.40, beating the estimate of $4.19. They managed net revenues came in at $50.9 billion, showing a 9% growth in banking and payments and a whopping 46% growth in investment banking. So a strong performance literally from JP Morgan, yet it didn't get the lift. And a lot of that coming after the Wells Fargo report. So let's go to Wells Fargo, as you guys can see it right now, trying to trade back through 57. This actually doesn't look bad. Normally, if I wasn't in the Sunrise report, I'd actually maybe take a look at this to start coming back up. But I'm going to leave Wells Fargo alone. Let's take a look at the numbers here and what it reported. So Wells Fargo's Q2 24 GAAP EPS was at $1.33, exceeding the $1.29 estimate. Sales were at $20.69 billion, above the $20.29 billion estimate. But something in here they're not liking, team, and that's important to note because the truth is this took a major hit, and a lot of it is being talked about off of the income interest from deposits. Deposits still not what they were before the pandemic. And a lot of that is there's money everywhere to be put. I was looking at just yesterday on public.com, sending me an advertisement telling me that I could get 5.1% of my money in a cash yielding account that, to tell you the truth, no fees, no interest. Well, the truth is the banks aren't the only place to hide your money anymore, guys, or get return. So with that mentioned there, I think that's what's going on in this banking situation and why you're not just seeing these stocks just take off. Let's go to the next one here. Some call it the nuts and bolts of the economy. That's Fastenal. Fastenal getting a nice little lift here off their Q2 numbers. The EPS was 51 cents, which was in line with the expectations. Sales of $1.916 billion, slightly beating the $1.915 billion estimate. Steady as she goes for Fastenal. We'll see what happens, guys. Definitely the nuts and bolts starting to push up. This is not a bad stock to take a look at today, especially in an environment where things are negative. This stock getting a really nice move here. Don't forget that you could get some pullbacks to prior support being around the 67 spot. So that's kind of the layer that I'd be watching for pullbacks towards the 67.26 level. That's what I'll be watching there on Fast. Not really a stock that I trade often, so we'll see what happens. You can see the bunch up here on the 5-minute right below the 67. So I'm going to put it up here towards 66.50s or down to 660. 650s, but look where the VWAP is, right there off 67. So somewhere between that 67 and 66.50s doesn't look too bad there for pullbacks in Fastenal. Smash the like, guys. We're going through the Sunrise report where we give you the information, all the stocks moving out there, guys, and what has some great information out there. Money Mitch, you learned from Roland? Hey, I've learned from all things, guys. And Ruslan, I got you. Let me get through the Sunrise Report. I'll give you an answer to your question. I saw a lot on there, but when it comes to specific questions about, let's say, evaluations and things like that, I don't mind helping you guys. But don't forget, guys, I'm not like customer service, guys. I'm here to try to educate you guys, try to show you guys from my trading and have you guys learn from my experiences. But I just wanted to mention that. I do see your question, Ruslan. I will get to it. I promise. And Roland has Wolfpack. Yeah, he does have Wolfpack. That's interesting, Bullseye. And trust me, it wasn't the steal from Roland. I've learned from plenty of traders, guys. The one thing is, when you're in this space, you look at all the traders and you try to take a couple of nuggets from each one. There's always gold out there, just like you guys will get gold from me. Find what sticks to you and, of course, apply it to your trading. Let's get to the action. Let's keep it going with the Sunrise Report. Now we're going over to Delta, as Delta Airlines forecasts a $100 million revenue hit from the Paris Olympics as travelers head to other destinations, of course. Delta has a significant service to Paris with a joint venture with Air France, and this could impact their earnings for the upcoming quarters. So just to mention there, definitely a struggle there in the Olympics, not getting as many people into Paris as they expected, and a lot of people kind of avoiding the action there. So that's a big negative here to Delta. Let's go to the dragon that is Tesla this morning. Pretty much going sideways, but it did have some good news out there. Let's talk about the good news. The bad news, of course, being the robotics conversation. But the good news here, Tesla unveiled a new Model 3 variant with longer range, eligible for that 7,500 tax credit that comes following the reports, of course, of yesterday's robo-taxi unveiling the August to kind of pushing it back from instead of August to October. And so Tesla continues to, of course, to be in attention. We were all looking to see what would happen with Tesla. And what did I always tell you guys? A little part of me thought that this was going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. And we didn't even get to this launch of August 8th. They just pushed it back to October. And that tells me a little bit of a warning sign, right? Maybe Tesla doesn't have it completely right, and they're trying to figure it out. They have to compete against a name like Google in this space, right? Robo-taxis. So we'll see what happens here. Tesla definitely taking a downturn, and everyone was buying in based on the move there. And I always love it, guys, because you're always going to get the narrative changes in the media. So just be careful. Understand that at the end of the day, I feel Tesla didn't run based on fundamentals. It ran based on story. Story is what? When we're having this kind of focus, like robo-taxi, like AI mentions, that story run. So story runs can also come crashing back down if the story changes. And this is a clear example of the story changing. Now they're delaying it. And so this could cause a month of downside action and then a month of upside action as we get closer to October, as the rumors come back that we're going to the robo-taxi days. So just focus on that, team. We'll see what happens there on, of course, Tesla. Let's keep going, guys. We got Netflix coming up next, and stick around, guys. It's going to be a great day. Guess who's going to be back in the hot seat? We're going to get Rocco back on, baby. Excited to have Rocco join us in just a second here. But let's keep going, guys. Let's go to Netflix, as I got a couple more to flow through here. Always trying to give you guys the news out there. So Netflix coming in here. JP Morgan raising Netflix price target to $7.50 from $6.50, maintaining a buy rating. Netflix remains a strong performer in the streaming space. Of course, Netflix is going to be having at the end of July. And this is a little bit of a hint to give you guys some mentality out there in Netflix, and why I think really the rise in price target is here. Don't forget, there's a big fight at the end of the month on Netflix, right? My man Mike Tyson is going to be going at it, right? With what is it, Jake Paul? Hey, Mike Tyson, you better give him that left hook, knock him out, because I want to watch it on Netflix. I know I'm a Netflix user, and there's going to be people that just get Netflix just for the fight. What is that going to do? That's going to boost subscriber numbers. That's going to boost, even if they just go on for a month, that's boosting the subscriber numbers, which I think will show up in a later earnings report for Netflix, and that's what the analysts maybe might be seeing, right? Like always, guys, I always try to give you guys what I'm thinking in this. And analysts, they're all over the place. So, but interesting, 750 price target. So literally all-time highs and ways away from here. We're talking 11% higher. We'll see what happens there in Netflix. I got the last one here. This is going to be AT&T and Snowflake mentioned. Let's take a look at the action here. AT&T taking a down hit, and so is Snow off of this. And what happened was an AT&T disclosed a data breach here affecting nearly all customers' phone records, and separate breach targeted towards Snowflake customers. Both companies are dealing with significant security issues that could impact the stock's performance. So keep watch to see what happens there. And it just goes to show you, and I laugh all the time, guys, because a lot of people are like, oh, cybersecurity, your data, you got to hide it. Man, if Snowflake can't hide their data, how the hell can you? Let's be honest, guys. There's no way in hell we can hide our data. If a company like Snowflake, if like these companies like PanW can't hide the data, well, to tell you the truth, we can't either. But that's enough of the Sunrise Report. Like always, guys, I'm going to give you guys what I see in the market with the Sunrise Report. I hope you guys appreciate me doing the Sunrise Report, because really it's my way of giving back to you guys and getting ready for the market. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it going. Keep throwing up those stock tickers, maybe some penny names that are out there. We'll take a look at the gainers and losers list. Start building the watch list right now. So throw up tickers that you guys want me adding to our new watch list today. And let's go ahead. Let's keep the show flowing. Next up, we're bringing on my man, Rocco. Let's get to the action. Let's bring him on here. What's up out there, my friend? How we doing? Oh, Rocco, I don't hear you for a second. Do me a favor, guys. I'm going to put you in the back for just a second. Rocco, I know you can hear me. Hit the wheel bar, the settings, go to audio, go up to the top. You'll see mic. Make sure that your mic is selected. Sometimes it gets a random one on the default. Make sure it's selecting there. The way you'll know, Rocco, is when you see the mic, you'll see some green dots that are moving there. If that's moving, just give me a thumbs up and I'll bring you right back on. All right, guys, let's keep it going, team. We're going to have a great show for you guys today. We'll have Rocco on. We'll take a look at some trading action. We got a lot to take a look at today. SNTG showing up at the top now. This had to have just moved when I was talking. Oh, look at that, guys. This was up there to 450s. Now pulling back here towards the morning. Zap, of course, showing up on the scanners. We'll take a look at that action. How's the Zappy Zap doing? Pulling back from that $11. We'll look to see if we get one more lift there. But definitely the battle is on. Rocco's trying to fix his mic there. I'm sure he'll give me a thumbs up once he gets it ready there. We'll keep going. Look at that. Money Mitch has the TTP coffee mug. Yeah, you see it, my friend. Hey, pinkies on up out there, team. It's time to get after it, guys. Trade the pool. You know where you're at, baby. Oh, and the best part, Eric, really, it's not about the coffee mug. Let's be honest. It's all about this hat, guys. You guys got to get this hat. This hat is fresh. Fresh to death, guys. Oh, I love this one, guys. And what does it say there, guys? What does it say? Let's stock and roll, baby. Let's stock and roll indeed, guys. Trade the pool. You know where you're at, guys. Let's keep going. Rocco is ready to come on, baby. Let's go, Rocco. All right. How you doing, Rocco? Oh, no. Maybe it's me. No, I can't hear you, Rocco. We'll get it fixed up, man. No worries. Just keep.
Not working.
There you go. It's working there, but it's not working on the headset. Don't worry. If you want, I can help you kind of fix it if you want, Rocco.
That's all right.
It's all right. How we doing this morning? It's good to see you, my friend.
Good morning, Mitch. Good morning, TTP family. So happy to be back at the earnings of the banks day.
Yes. The banks are out, and don't worry, guys. We're not going to go take the banks. We might go rob the banks today, but in a different way, right?
The banks never lose.
Yeah, banks never lose. That's for sure, guys. They know what they're doing, right? They know the game, man. It's holding the money. That's what they like to do. I will say in the chat here, we're getting a question from Great Scott asking if the playbook is the same as the Sunrise Report. I'll tell you what the difference is really quickly.
Morning only.
The playbook is like strategy outlook, right? Like, oh, I see like a symmetrical triangle out there and I'm looking for a recovery of EMA. That's a strategic outlook, right? Now, the sunrise report is more just stocks that are moving that have a catalyst, like actual news, right? Because there's sometimes like a penny name that's going to be moving and it doesn't even have a catalyst. There's nothing out there. You can search and search and search and search. The truth is, it's just moving technically. And so that's not going to be on the sunrise report. Sunrise report is specifically a catalyst is out, and that's why the stock is moving. So it gives you the whys in the market. And that I think is so important. Also, playbook is just strategic outlook. All right, guys, let's keep going. Morning. Look at the love in the chat. They're ready for you, Rocco. Excited to start the day. How you been doing, man? How's the trading action going?
Well, yesterday wasn't that good. Like we all have bad days.
I'm sure, guys. And Rocco, it happens to the best of us, man. I mean, I was trying to short Tesla for like 2 or 3 days. And then, of course, yesterday is when it just chapows down. So, hey, that's how it goes sometimes. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I had that cognitive bias that Tim mentioned last time around, right? Because yesterday Dow reported and everything was looking bad. I was shorting, like you said, short, but it was only going up.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't,
That's how it is, guys, and there's always going to be flips, and I think that now is when we can really start focusing on things. The chat mentioning a big runner yesterday, this LCFY. We'll see what happens with this one again. Can this one make another move? All on the radar, guys. Right now, we're seeing a lot of kind of like these big pops and drops, but the truth is there is money to be made on these. You just have to be quick, right? Longevron, names like that. Look at this, already propping a little bit in the morning. So stocks like this, definitely in play. Let's make the new list here. I'm going to make a new list for us here. So guys, keep throwing up those tickers. I'll catch them. Rocco, what is on your radar this morning? What are you looking at, my friend?
I'm looking at Citi. As I guess everyone is. Citi has that catalyst, the earnings report, right? That's very important and allows the liquidity for the stock that then kind of fits into the playbook, right? We are waiting for the setups, we are waiting for the volume, we are waiting for the right moment to get in. The other one is Wells Fargo and JPM, like Chase, right? And what's really interesting is that Citi is up, and the other two are either down or flat, even though they all beat the earnings, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was trying to find what was the difference. The only thing I found that Citi group, that every bank has that investment group, right? They did the best of the three. They were investing the best. They got the best profit back in the last quarter. That's the only difference I see. Otherwise, everybody beat the earnings. Everybody beat the revenue. So we'll see. So, and what's interesting now with the Citi is that it is hanging around the VWAP, right? And that's kind of, and also close to the VWAP is yesterday's day high, which is also one of the significant points,
I see that.
Yeah.
Right there, right around the 67 spot.
Exactly. So they're all kind of hanging around. So we'll see if that's the area of support, right? That will bounce off at the open, and we'll try to see what kind of setups come out. One of them might be the opening range breakout, right? One of the most commonly played day trading approaches, right? And we can talk about it when the open happens, and then we'll see if some ranges will form, some breakouts, some breakdowns, and so on. So I'm trying to be out of the cognitive bias today. I learned my lesson yesterday. The point is to be better today than we were yesterday, just a little bit every day, right?
That's it. 1% better, man. 1% better a day. You know what it does in a year, man? That's 30 times better.
Yeah,
so just to give you guys an outlook out there, and I got that from Atomic Habits, book that I'm kind of listening to right now. I've been doing a little bit more books out there. I know that we do a book club also on our Discord, so check out the Discord. I know Tim's out there. Tim, Atomic Habits, what do you think about that book? I know Tim's out there. He's listening. But love to see it, man. And Citigroup loves to do this. I'll tell you that, Rocco. I mentioned it yesterday. I almost expected it, man. A little part of me was trying to trade that. The only problem was that when Citi's report came out, it was a nice buck wide spread. And I was like, oh, man, this is so hard to buy, man. So hard to buy because with a dollar spread, I mean, let's just be honest, that bid can drop fast. And next thing you know, I'm not in this name. And then I couldn't get into JPM, right? It was a little blocked on JPM, but I did like it, right? So like as soon as the report came out, it was right around this 206.25. That to me was a nice entry if you got that entry, right? So at this point, I'd be looking to see if 206 holds on JPM. So it could go down to that 206, maybe even a wick, and then comes right back through it. That's what I'll be watching on JPM because that's where it came off of the Citi report, right? So sometimes they bring it right back to that spot, wash out the traders, and then send it from there. So we'll see if that gets that magnet pull out the open, right? Where it just like kind of pulls right to it. And you see a lot of volume filling right there. Sometimes you'll get the quick underwick and then it recovers back. That's why the close is always so important. The closing of candles is 10 times more important than the opening of candles. That's why I like bar charts, but hey, you guys choose what you guys like to use, right? All right, guys, Citi still holding in off that 67.33s. We can keep a watch on that. A lot that I can add on the watch list, so keep throwing up stocks. We can definitely take a look. Noli saying that's a great book. Yeah, definitely, guys. I've been trying to get into some more action. The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tender. I've actually interviewed him, Noli. I can bring him on if you guys want. You guys want me to bring on Jared? Sometime I could bring him on so we can talk a little bit of some psychology in trading. My favorite psychology in trading, of course, is Mark Douglas, of course. You can't go wrong with that action. But there's so many books out there, guys. We can talk some books a little later. I'll bring Tim on in the future. I know he does a lot of the book club action, so we can take a look at that. All right, guys, smash the like out there, guys. We got a lot for you guys. Do you avoid trading small caps the first 15 minutes of the bell? That's not a bad outlook, Bullseye. The truth is that the first 15 minutes are usually kind of like scalps. So you got to be careful with the smaller ones there because you can definitely get some of that action there. So that's one thing that I'll say is there's nothing wrong with trading them in the first 15 minutes, but understand that you could get moves that come right back up and down. When you're trading the 1 minute, should we be in a trade for maybe an hour? A lot of times, I don't think that's the best option, right? So know your time frame and what you're trying to get in the reward. Is this a 5-minute outlook type of trade where the stock should be in the green for me in 5 minutes or something like that, right? I think that's what you got to be thinking about when you're thinking of the first 15 minutes. Another thing that comes in the first 15 minutes is what we call the opening range breakouts, where it's 3 5-minute candles. And a lot of traders use this, guys. It's the opening range breakout, the ORB, they sometimes call it. So focusing on that, the 3 first 5-minute candles creates the first 15-minute candle. And that's what they're essentially watching to see what happens to that. Does it break the support? Does it break the resistance? And they trade off of that. That's a trade that just exists out there, right? So keep your watch on that. So much to talk about, guys. Mic issues, what's up out there? So Rocco, we'll fix your mic, Rocco. Let's try to get your headset on there because it seems like we're getting a little bit of some background pickup. So if you want, I'll put you in the background right quick. Try to plug it in again, and we'll bring you back to see if it fixes. Go to the settings bar, and if you need a little help, just let me know, man. I'll help you fix it up. You give me a thumbs up when you're ready to try it, and I'll bring you right back, all right? All right, I'm going to put Rocco in the background just a second here to see if we can get his headset to work here so that you guys don't have that kind of noise in the back. Mitch looking like a Zunaid fade. Nah. I had to beat my man, guys. The freshest fade in Wall Street just got beat. Where you at, Zunaid? We're going to have to battle here. Yeah, Wisdom. You know how it is, man. Let's keep going. We'll get to the market action in just a second. Rocco trying to fix up his headset there. Hey, and I'll work with him to get it fixed, guys. Don't worry. We'll get it going there. Let's see what else is out there in the market towards the bell here. If you guys got a smaller name and you guys want to take a look at, throw it up there. I know earlier it was yo-yo, so we'll keep a watch on that one. We'll see what happens this morning. I did take a little loss there. We'll talk a little bit about CGBS. Took a small haircut this morning on this one. Not too bad, down about $60 there. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. Bought some at 597, 580s, and was willing to risk about $1 on this. It came down in a hurry, back down towards that layer, cut out at the 473s. It's at 416 now. We'll look to see if this comes back. In the morning, this was up there towards 14, $15. So I don't know what happens here, guys, if it starts to come back or not. We'll see if it actually does make a push back. With the way that stocks have been kind of doing this rip up, I'll keep a watch on it. IWM is another way to keep looking at the stocks today, right? We'll keep watch on that action. We'll take a look at the top movers when the market opens here. But from right now, I can take a look at some of the action this morning and see how those perform, right? There's going to be a lot of these stocks that could keep pushing. And I can look at the kind of the high RSI names to maybe see if these can keep kind of strong. This CCO stands out to me. I can take a look to see if there's any other kind of big names that stand out to me. It's kind of smaller names here, names that I don't really think you guys would know. So I'm just kind of rolling through. Not much there. There's so many names that are kind of these smaller names there. You got to be a little bit careful. But if we look at the top of the IWM, what do we see? We see DEC, right? Deckers, MicroStrategy. You got Axon. So keep your eyes on these. Builders First Source is one to kind of keep watch, because if we're looking at real estate doing well, a lot of times when real estate does well, what does well? Well, building materials. So let's see if this can kind of make another lift. This is not a bad one to keep watch to see if it really wants to push. That's a move into the 150 range. We'll see what happens there. All right, Rocco, you want to try it again? Let's see what we can do. Let's see it. Let's see how he's doing. Rocco, what's up out there, man? How you doing? Did we get it? Did we get it? No, I'm still not seeing it there. Hey, do me the favor. Just hit the settings bar, hit audio, make sure that the mic is selected onto that headset, so that we can maybe try to get you back on there. You should see the green dots moving when you speak. So that will give you the information if it's working or not. If anything, let me know. I can maybe get Gil on to try to help you out there. But we'll get it working, Rocco. Keep trying. Let me know and give me a thumbs up when you think you got it. All right, guys, we'll keep going. Rocco's trying to get that fixed up. If not, hey, we'll bring him back on. We can always come back tomorrow or another day. We're trying to do our best to work with the little gremlins this morning. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Waiting on that oil and gold entry and MicroStrategy too. Yeah, I think we might get a little bit of a flip here. I'm looking to see what happens in Bitcoin, right? Because I've been talking about that, how important it is. If it recovers 60,000, this could be right back up. And with the split mention of MSTR, because MSTR is going to do a split, these stocks have gone up in the past. Yesterday, it washes out towards a layer here. We can watch to see if we cut back into this gap zone, or do we just hold the low on the hourly and rip right back up? If that rip happens, we can look for some upside action to come in and to CleanSpark, come in tomorrow. So as much as I was looking at downside action coming in with this MSTR mention, it kind of flips it for me. And I'm waiting to see what happens there to see if we get the rip so I can maybe ride that one up, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'll put CLSK on one of my charts here on the bottom right. Got a bunch of charts out there, team. So if you guys have any big names you guys want me to keep watch on my 6 charts, I'll definitely keep watch on that. And we'll see some of the top movers there. BEV, one of the top movers right now, doing pretty well. And I'm seeing that move pretty strong here. It's at 90 cents, rejecting it here. We'll see what happens on that one. Was just above $1, right, in the pre-market. Has been battling here. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2. Looking for an up 3 and then a kind of a reload, but we could make a pullback towards 60 cents. Just keep that in mind. We'll see what happens here towards the bell. It's 9:19, guys. We got about 10 minutes left here. Let's keep it going, team. Smash the like. Let's see what else is out there. How do you improve your accuracy? I'm often at 30 to 50% accurate. Well, accuracy a lot of times is going to depend on your risk to return, right? So like I have a 3-to-1 outlook. And that tells me that I need to be 30 or 40% accurate. But if I did a 1-to-1, then I need to bring my accuracy higher. And it's going to actually help you, right? So like if you go down, if you go to a 1-to-1 trade, your accuracy should improve, right? If it's not, if it's at 30%, then you're really losing money, right? So that's the other thing to think about, right? So just to kind of mention that, Bullseye, those are the things you got to think about. If it's 2-to-1, right? If you're 50% accurate, you should be kind of near that break even, right? So things like that. Like, what do I need to do? What percentage I need to get to that success, right? There's a kind of a scale that you can look, and I have a chart for this, but I'm not going to look it up right now. But that's what you need to be watching, the scale on that action. So if I can go for a lower reward, what's my accuracy level go up to, right? For me, I try my best to think that, hey, if I only got to be 40% accurate and I can get in the green, then that's not too bad. The pressure goes down for me. When I feel like I need to be 90% accurate, and I've done strategies in the past where you got to be like 80, 90% accurate to have big monies in the green, that puts a lot of stress on your decision making. We'll see what happens, guys. All right, we'll see what else happens. Getting to a 1-to-1 with 30% is not profitable. Of course, man. Of course. Sometimes I only get 1-to-1. And so what happens is if you only get 1-to-1, and then sometimes you're taking the 1-to-1 trade, sometimes you're taking the 2-to-1 trade, you essentially are kind of ruining the mathematic advantage in your trading. And that's a good and bad thing. You have to really keep your watch on how you're trading if you're going to be subjective in that decision making. But hey, we'll keep it going. Let's add some here for Noli. Noli wants to look at Carvana. I'm going to add Carvana. Look at that VEV, trying to get through that $1. We'll see if it gets through there. Adding Carvana there for my man Noli. What's another one there? CCL. Okay. Carnival Cruise. We'll keep a watch on Carnival Cruise. And Tesla and Snow. Let's add Snow because definitely Snow taking a hit today based on the kind of the information that came out from AT&T. But definitely we can add that one to the watch. I'll put it here for the change, the top change move here. So you'll see these kind of move right now. Of course, VEV being the top mover because it's a penny name. But keep watch. We'll see what happens to these if they can stay in the green. All right, guys. Bullseye with smaller size. It's not always realistic to get a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 with smaller size or bigger size, right? It just depends, right? I mean, really, it's all about kind of your understanding of that ratio and how you want to go about it, because you can go down. You just need to bring your accuracy up. That's just what it is. So I think what it also is important to test different risk to reward tolerances and seeing how your personality matches or doesn't match that. Look at this big order going through, guys, on VEV, 10,000 shares at 94. So big order right there. Now you're seeing 7,500 at the 92. There's definitely traders getting all over this and trading big. So just be careful out there, team. We'll see what happens in VEV towards the bell. We've had a couple of runs here. Let me go to the 1 minute here to see what's going on there. I see that one run, pullback, second run, pullback. Could still get that third run and then another pullback. We'll see what happens there on VEV. This is a auto manufacturer. Oh man, they're just running all these kind of crappy names. Zap, VEV. We'll see if Ford comes crashing down today. One of my top watches today is to see if Tesla comes right back down and continues the downside action, what happens in Ford. So keeping that on the radar, going to set the alert. We'll see what happens there on Ford, guys. All right, check out the ticker Mitch, the match group getting a nice little lift there. We'll see what happens on this one. The Mitch stock, right? Just got 2,200 shares. We'll see. We'll see what happens on that match. All right. Hey, Rocco, I know you're struggling out there, man. Do you want to maybe try one more time here? Let me see it. All right. I'm bringing you back, my friend. We'll see. We'll try it one more time. See how it goes. If not, it's all good, Rocco. You can. We'll bring you back on if anything. But it doesn't sound too bad here for right now.
Sounds good.
If you guys get kind of some of that background noise and it comes in, let me know, guys. We'll change it up and we'll get Rocco to head out. And I'll definitely miss you though. I wanted you on today, but hey, that's how it is, man.
That's how it is.
There's always some gremlins.
Technology days.
Yeah, definitely. Excited to keep adding some new things to the stream and keep kind of changing things up, guys. So stick around. There's so much more that we're going to add to this stream, and we're going to bring on more traders. We're going to give you guys access to understanding different strategies. That's what it's all about. Today, we'll be taking a look into market sentiment indicators. I think it's a great day for this. We'll take a look at that closer towards the 10:30 hour, where we get into a little bit more of that education. The last 30 minutes, we can talk a little bit more about that. Let's keep it going, team. You guys are seeing VEV start to pull back right there. We're close to the bell here, 9:25. We'll look to see if we get that one more pullback towards like the 80 cents out the gates, comes back towards 1. This will definitely be on the radar, VEV. Zappy Zap, also on the radar. We'll see what happens on Zap if it keeps making that move. And of course, I saw Longevron kind of getting a little lift this morning. Was trying to make the push. Of course, this one, another kind of major runner, but could just fail back towards $3 today. A lot of action in the market, guys. We'll see what happens there. Let's go back to Citi. Of course, the bank conversation is the most focused right now. It's back down below that 67. So we'll look to see what happens on Citigroup, if it can recover that 67 today. JPM already coming back down into that spot here earlier where it was kind of breaking out from, right? That 205.25. We'll look to see if it holds it. It went to 205.33 just a little while ago at 9.25. We'll look to see if it can get the push. Sounds good. Sounds good here. At least they're enjoying the sound right now, Rocco. We'll see what happens. And if anything, you can just come in and out on the mute. That should help. Yeah. That should help it. All right.
I'll do that. Yeah.
All right. And you can feel free if you would like. You could share a screen if you want to get in the background too. That's fine too. There's JPM already going to that 205.10. So it's trying to wash out right before the open here. We'll see what happens on JPM.
So you're going to talk about the importance of wicks and the volatility of the market on your decisions?
Yeah, and it's important. Market sentiment too, right? Market sentiment is so important, team. Like always, guys, we want to kind of bring in some new topics. I'm going to keep bringing up some more topics too. Today, we'll be taking a look at some different action, right? We'll take a look at strategies for volatile markets, see how we can trade that. But looks like we got market sentiment today. I think we were supposed to do this on Friday, but don't worry, I'll flip it up. We can do this today. So like the VIX, put to call ratios, right? Contrarian indicators. The VIX is a definite look into. Yesterday, what happened, right? You saw the VIX start to really kind of start to push, right? And I think that that's an important outlook. We'll see what happens today. If this can really start to lift here. We got up there towards the 1030, but look how 10 million shares trades yesterday. So this is what hedging, right? Hedging is going on a day like yesterday where people are being a little bit concerned. And another thing to look at is high put call ratio, right? Identifying bearish sentiment and bullish sentiment. We'll talk a little bit about that later in the day. Keep your watch out there, team. Let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there.
Yeah, I'm actually testing a hypothesis kind of to get the volatility for each stock and then adjust my size dependent on the stock's personality, so to speak. So I'm going to talk about that later too, kind of share my screen and show you my brackets and so on.
Love it, Rocco. Looking forward towards that. We'll get into that action a little bit later today. Let's see what happens in the market today, guys. Here's another one that's moving today. Maybe we can keep a watch on SNTG. We'll see if this one starts to come back. And like always, traders, let me know if you guys see a big mover out there. We'll definitely take a look at it.
So Bullseye has a good question, right? So if there is a higher volatility, what do you do? Do you decrease the size or move your stop loss? I think that's kind of what we're thinking at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important, right? With volatility, what happens is you got to give yourself more room, right? That's what I think, right? And you guys know how I am. I have been stepping up in sizing, but normally I'm like kind of a lower size trader. That's why I focus on my swing trading action. You guys see it. And a lot of times into my swings, I can give myself that room in the intraday to a lot of times even daily lows. So it has to break the low on the day for me to get even out of the trade, right? Things like that really help me. It gives me the room to let the trade work. And then once it goes into my favor, I can get to the point where I'm like, okay, I've taken some profits from here. I'm playing with the house's money, and things like this is what helped me in my swing trade mentality. Day trade, it does get difficult, right? Because the truth is, in day trade, that's part of what you're trying to do. You're trying to size up and take quick gains, right? That's what day traders do. And I think that that's the mentality that sometimes I struggle even with, is kind of combining hats, right? When do I go with the kind of my swing trade approach? When do I take my hat and flip it backwards and start trading my day trading approach, right? That's where it gets really difficult, traders. You have to be watching the action to stay with that, right? And the truth is that one strategy might be better for you than the other. Maybe you're better at swing trading than you are at day trading. Don't forget, you guys can also take the swing trading evaluations, right? And just focus on that during the stream. There's nothing wrong with that. Here's the open, guys. Let's get to the action. You guys know what time it is. It's time to trade. Look out there. There's time to trade, guys. Time. Get to it, team. Let's see what we can get today. A lot of action in the market. Going to be watching out the gates here. Kind of this VEV. We'll see if this one can kind of hold the pullback. And does it take off here? Look at right now, really quickly. We got another dip here. Now I'm starting to see some buyers step up here. There's a big order, 26,000 shares after the 85. Let's see if it comes back to this. On the high end, you got buyers trying to step up at the 90 cents there. So I'm looking for a quick pullback back towards that 84 to hold and then take out the 90 on the up end. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to try to trade this VEV here. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, let me know what else you guys are looking at in the chat. We'll see what happens. Good luck, everybody. Let's go, Rich.
Good luck. Let's go.
There's that 84 showing up here on that VEV. The order size just got filled, some of it at the 84. I'm looking for it to just undercut it and then start working its way back. So here it is right there on the kind of look at the size filling right here on the time and sales. Boom, 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 boom. He's starting to get filled. Now there's 12,000. There's 3,000 shares there. Boom, it just got through. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to get 100 shares here and just try to get a little starter here. If it goes a little lower, I can buy it here. I'm just trying to get a tiny bit here. Just grabbed a little bit there at 83 cents, the smallest amount, right? Even if it flushes down, it's only 100 shares right now. In a second, if I start to see this get back to the 90, that's when I'm going to step up to the plate here. So now we're at that 80 and I can just keep adding off the 100 shares. Looking for this to start turning back towards the upside. That's when I'm going to start adding and looking for the swing back to the 90. On the 100 shares, I can let this kind of work here. Next share size is at the 73s here. 73s just got through there. It hit for a second there and then came back through. Now I'm going to look for it to get back into the 80s and come back for that 90s. So I have the starter right now. That's a small starter that can protect me. Tesla really weak. We'll see what happens on that action. I'm going to switch over to my multiple charts and we can keep watch on different names. IWM, the SPY getting a nice little lift there. If you guys have any names you guys are looking at, you guys want me to throw it up, let me know there. I have a couple of different trades there I'm watching. Let me also put up, let's put up, looking around. Lucid is making a move a little bit. I'll put Citi there. All right, guys, let me go ahead and switch this chart here, switch over to the multi-charts here, where you got about 6 trades looking out there, guys. So let me know if you did any of these you guys want me to change. I'll add to it or put a different ticker there. There's Zap through 13 there, guys. Zap is making a little bit of a move. Let me put this on the 1 so you guys can kind of watch that. There it is. There's that action. Zap going to the 1320s there. Nice miss on SQ and CCL. We'll see what happens there. Got filled in Tesla. Okay. CLSK starting to make a little bit of an up move there. That's one that I want to keep a watch on. That has a tendency of just ripping. And the 15-minute has a lot of support right underneath it around the 15. And it's trying to hold in this morning. Looking at the hourly resistance is right above it towards the 525s where it can really start to get strong here. CLSK, I'm going to go ahead and try to get 100 here and then just look for pullbacks to add here. 1520s already there. Just grabbed a little bit on pullbacks to 1510 and 1505s. That's where I want to really get my sizing in here. So 1505, I'm about to put it out there. 1505, let me put 300 there. 1510, I'm going to put another 100 there. So I'm trying to get filled on the pullbacks and adding to it. There you guys see the orders there, and I'm going to go back to VEV. I'm trying to trade a lot here, guys. I'm going to be moving fast and fast in and out. You guys will be able to see it on the screens here. You see the limits right there. Try to show you guys everything. All right, watching VEV as it is down there towards the 70s. It's starting to bottom out, but I'm looking for the turnaround there. Really, if it just keeps coming down, it's fine with the 100 shares. I still haven't added to it. I think that's important there. I'm just looking to see the volumes there. It just needs to actually start working its way back. So I'm waiting for that kind of rip back towards the upside. Then I'll start taking a bigger one. Rich says, I smell a short on Zap. Yeah, I like the short on Zap, but I'm looking for more of the 14 push first. But hey, to each his own. If you guys want to come after it now, can't blame you. SNTG, yeah, getting a nice little push. Not the biggest move. City straight down out the gates there. That's a little bit difficult trade. I'm avoiding the banks, man. It's hard for me to trade banks. All right, guys, got those fills in a clean spark, and there she goes, guys. There she goes, back to 1515s, looking good. I got about 500 shares at 1509. Let's see if this can really start making some noise here on clean spark. See if we can get a push back here towards like 1570s. Something like that would be a nice $300 gainer here. So let's see if that can happen here. For right now, I'm putting 1586, which is ways away. There's 1525. We're looking good there on that breakout there in clean spark. I'm looking for about $100 to take at least 100 off there. Going to go back to VEV as I'm starting to see it bottom out around the 74s. Looking for the push back towards the 90. That's where I think we can get some real buyers to step up there. Still have just 100 shares. Focusing on the faster mover, which is clean spark, but keeping VEV on my watch, guys.
Okay, I took the 5-minute opening range breakout on City.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
What's happening?
I'll put it up right here, guys. City.
I can share the screen.
Yeah, share the screen if you'd like.
Let me see.
All right, Clean Spark trying to make that next step up there. We'll see if Clean Spark can make that move. It's looking really good for me right now. I'm just going to keep it working for right now, see if it can take that next step up.
Okay, screen is there.
Bid now coming in here. I'm going to throw you up, Rocco.
All right. Okay, here we go. As you maybe remember from last time, on the right is level 2. We can see a large order, 6450. I'm waiting that to break. It broke. Now we have here time and sells. It's kind of jumping back, so that's kind of not a good sign for the short that I took. Here is the book map, right? The circles are the sellers, red circles are sellers, so to speak, and green are buyers. We can see larger red circles, so sellers are currently dominant. And here on the left, you have 1 minute chart and the 5-minute chart, and we can see on 1 minute chart we had some of rejection, strong rejection for 6440. So I'm going to wait to see what's going to happen with this candle and then this side. I entered at 6502, and we are now 65, like 40 cents down, and still going. There's some resistance at 6450 as we saw, but still the candle closed. As Mitch said before, it's very important where it closes. It closed below the open. It was a stretch. There was a bigger volume, so that's kind of all good sign. But if it goes above the open of this candle, I'm gonna get out. So now we are still waiting for it to go. I'm in this I'm trying what I just mentioned before, right? You see, I have here this average true range, like from last 6 candles, tells me the volatility of the stock, like 34 cents. This is how much I will allow to retrace that stock at the moment to get out, right? So basically, let's say the lowest was 64.43, so plus 34 cents. I'll let it go to 64.75, which is exactly at the open, so kind of matches the possible exit, right? So just, and now just basically just keep your hands off the keyboard.
I like it, Rocco. You know what I say? I say sit on them.
Sit on them, right? So
yeah, just literally just take your hands and just put them underneath your butt and just sit on them, man. Remove them from your hands. All right, guys, I just took some profit there in CleanSpark. You guys can see it down here, guys. I told you guys I'd take a little profit there for above 100. Took 200 off there at 1540s. I still have about 300 shares from 1509, and it's looking good here in CleanSpark. Tesla, big rip up there, guys. I had a feeling you'd get that relief rally. You're getting it right now in Tesla. Be careful with Zap, but we'll see if these starts to spark VEV. I'm about to take some more of VEV as this is starting to bottom out there around the 76. I think this could really start to make the move now. Now at this point, I'm seeing 3 bottom attempts. I'm going to look for one more bottom attempt to 72, but I could start to add around here on VEV. Tesla, big push there to 239s. I'm going to look to see if CleanSpark can really make that move here, guys. So let's see the next step up here. 1570s up there towards 1570s. I think this can get to even 16. So I'm letting this try to work here on CleanSpark. I wonder how Mara is doing. I don't have a view on it, but I know Eric out there is probably watching it. All right, Tesla with a nice little push there towards the 239s. We'll look to see if that holds. IWM holding pretty well there. There's Zap back up there towards the 1260s. That's what I was a little concerned with, Tesla getting that little spot there. But now I'm looking at VEV as an attempt here to go ahead and try to add some size here. All right, guys, just added a little bit more there, 200 shares. Now I got 300 shares at the 78 spot for VEV. So I like that being down there closer towards the price action right now. Now I need to see it get back above the 80s. If it starts to get above the 80s, that's where I'll start to get big on VEV. We'll see what happens here. Tesla, big rip up there, now 240s. So that's a nice looking move there.
Look at the city move. I love it. I love it. Sit on your hands, as you said.
Yeah, it's right there, guys. Right here at city, working well there. Not looking bad. That's coming down pretty fast. And banks love to run before they crash, and so I'd be watching that one. GS is another one that loves to crash when banks crash fast. So I could look at that one as being a trade potential. We'll see what happens there. City pulling back fast. 64.14 now. Look at Zap. Look at that Zap. Right back to 1320s. Hope somebody was able to nail that Zap. So now that I'm getting that VEV kind of bottom outlook, there it is, guys. That's exactly what I kind of wanted to look on VEV, which is kind of that bottoming look here. You guys can see it. I'll zoom in really close so that we can kind of see that action here. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 bottoms. So I wouldn't want to see this low break, the 69, and then looking for a nice little boost back here through the 80s and 90s. Zap doing pretty well up there to the 1340s. Tesla to 241. Let's see if this auto manufacturer can get going now in VEV. When I step up, guys, I'm going to step up pretty strong, probably towards 1,000 shares. I'd like to see this start coming towards the 80 cents there, guys. That's where I'll start to step up. CleanSpark pulling back a little bit. Going to look for the VWAP to hold 1520s.
What can I say? When I'm with Mitch, I always make money.
Hey, guys. I mean, I ain't mad at you, Rocco. Can't be mad about that, man. I love to see it. I'll throw you up to talk a little bit more about that city trade. But yeah, man, not bad at all. It's working pretty well there. Now 64.04s. Where's your profit take? What are you thinking about profit, Rocco?
It's holding. So as I said, I'm defined by the volatility of the stock. You see now it dropped the volatility of 24 cents. Now it's coming up. Oh, now I'm gonna go up because it just took the high of the open. All right, pretty good trade.
Not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. First action down, 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 down. We'll see what on the bounce. Look at Tesla, man.
Yeah, and you can see here, right? You see this hammer. So it kind of went down to 63.96. The buyers picked up. Sellers couldn't do it anymore, and then there was a squeeze. So that's the time to go out, and I exited basically. So, all right. Pretty good trade. So, but you can see what was my decision thing. So I was wait first 5 minutes, right, to the price finds its own kind of, let's say, niche or space. And you can see here in the 5 minutes, this was the first drop And then when do I enter is when this close is broken, right, by a 1 minute candle on a higher volume, like it was here, so a little bit, right? And that's basically the 5 minute opening range breakout that we were mentioning in the intro to today, right? And you basically just follow then the trend, follow the volume price action till this happens, right? You can see this reversal, so to speak, right? Till it hits the like a hammer, goes over the volatility of 6 ATR of 20 cents from 63.96 plus 28 cents was 64.20, somewhere around. It is the open of the previous candle, and that's the exit point, right? And you can see now how it's picking up. So now I have to kind of work on my cognitive bias so I can switch my thinking that it could become a bullish with it is, so, and maybe kind of play it on the other end. But I rarely go bullish or long if I'm under the VWAP, which is the case here. So I will be waiting that it gets to the VWAP and see how it resolves between buyers and sellers. In addition, I don't see any kind of imbalance on the level 2, so there are not huge orders towards the down or the upside. You can see here that there was a huge transaction at 64.52. 1,240 lots, which is 124,000 shares, and the price is keeping above it. So that's again a bullish sign, right? Which we are kind of getting a confirmation from the buyers. So in a way that's bullish. And then if you look at the book map, right, you can see a huge set of limit orders that are pushing up. The sellers are trying. You see these big red circles, but they cannot bring the price down, right, yet. And it's basically kind of adding, the sellers are adding kind of these higher and higher limit orders to pull the price more and more up towards this big, huge long-term order that is around 66 there. And this will be probably a battle when it hits there, that spot. So that's kind of for now the analysis of the the stock. Here you can see also that Bookmap has this something called absorption indicator, okay, with this green square. It tells us that within less of 0.05 milliseconds, there was like 10,100 shares transacted. So kind of a big volume within very short time frame, while the price did not move up or down. So that's kind of absorption of the buyers in this case. The sellers are trying to respond basically to this push. But for now, it's looking pretty bullish.
Love it, man. And Bookmap, guys, a partner that you guys can be using right now. So I don't know if you guys have selected your partner. Of course, you need the bigger accounts, but definitely take a look into it. I mean, Bookmap is pretty advanced, man. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to need some Rocco lessons from Bookmap. So, hey, we're going to have to do a little learning session here, guys, on Bookmap, and Rocco's going to show us how to rock on. You know it.
Anytime. I'll just let me know when.
Even I want the lesson, guys. I like Bookmap. I've tried to use it a couple of times. To tell you the truth, it's been a little confusing for me. And maybe that's just because I haven't had anybody that uses it actively explain it to me. So people like Rocco, reach out to him, guys, because this is what it's all about, right? We all want traders to help us understand better our trading. This is a pure example of a service that you can be using to give you what? Insights into the liquidity into the market, right? I mean, we all need insights in liquidity, especially in a market where you have so much dark pulling action and things like that, right? Especially you penny stock traders. Oh boy. I'm sure Bookmap is all over that action. All right, guys, I'm keeping my watch on VEV. We'll see what happens on that one. If it does make the move, I still have a position on and just watching it work. We'll see what happens on CleanSpark. I'm still in that one. Right now, I'm just letting the positions I'm in working because I think that's important. ZAP keeps coming to the 9 EMA. You see this light blue line? You see how it keeps coming back to that? I'm looking for that to continue being respected right now on ZAP. You can see it came back, undercut it, recovered, undercut it, recovered. But when this breaks completely and actually closes, let's say 2 candles below the 9 EMA, that's when it will start looking like ZAP looks like a short for me, right? So you see how it breaks underneath it, but it doesn't really close down here. I'll look to see if it comes right back up there to the 1350s. Tesla up there to 243. So the relief pop is strong right now in Tesla. The question is, do we go back there towards the hourly kind of the 250 mark? That's kind of the layer that I gave earlier in the pre-market. There's Clean Spark, guys, looking good in Clean Spark right there. Up there to 1544 is now on Clean Spark, getting a nice little rip over about $100 here, looking for the next breakout. The next layer for me gets us up there closer towards the 1570s and 1580s. I think this can go to 16 today, but at 1570s, I'll take the money and run, man. Can't be mad about that.
If you want me, I can spare 5 minutes if there's time to talk about Bookmap and explain.
No, I love it. I love it, guys. Trying to get up there to the 1570s to take some profits there in Clean Spark today. We'll see if it gets up there, guys. Have the order out there to take the profits. Up over $100 on that Clean Spark, looking for the next move up there. Where's the resistance? The resistance right now is, I see a big order at 1550s. That's where it's going to struggle a little bit. And then I'll look to see if it takes out that 1550. Yeah, Rocco, we'll see if we get a chance to talk a little bit about it a little later today, but definitely I think it's a tool that you guys got to be looking at. All right, there's VEV trying to wash out some traders there. It's not doing bad, right? I mean, it's definitely washing out some traders. I'm looking for a 70-cent recovery on the 1 minute. So I'm still not going to stop out on this unless it gets down there towards the 60 cents. That's going to stop out there on VEV. I feel like this is a shakeout and then it could come right back up. There's a lot of trading action in VEV. We'll see what happens. Tesla working strong back up, guys. Strong 245s. All right, how's the overall market? How's the sectors out there, right? I'm going to tell you guys based on a daily outlook right now. So overall, what's leading? What's leading is consumer cyclical, technology, and healthcare. What's in the red? Energy, financial services, and communications. Let's see if that can stay on. Technology getting a nice little lift today after the downside action today. Could just be relief pops, but this is how it goes, team. So be careful out there, traders. Definitely seeing some strength there. Mara got up there to 1970s. So a big little move there in Mara, just looking around in the market. MSTR, not looking too bad there. We'll see what happens on that action. Zap at $13, still holding in for the time being. And Tesla continuing to push, man. QS mentioned in the chat, not a bad one. QuantumScape was moving yesterday. We could take a little peek at it here. I'll put it in the bottom left chart for us. QuantumScape. Look at that bad boy go. What a rip. Oh, man, I almost bought this yesterday at 6. It's up there to 8. Yesterday, it was up there towards that layer. Look at that. Nice little moves there in QuantumScape continuing, guys. So that one was a good one. Remember Joby? Oh, man, I was so mad. Even CNBC was talking about Joby yesterday. And I was like, dude, that was on the playbook on Monday. Look at Joby. It's up there to 650s, guys. I missed this one, but boy, oh boy, what a move here, guys. Look at the hourly. Look at this takeoff. This is what I was seeing, this whole bunch up. And I saw Archer lead the party. Joby, rockets, man. Rockets, man. It was a 20% move yesterday. Archer, let's see how Archer's doing today. Nice little push there. And Archer looking like it wants 5. Looking like it wants 5 today. Look at that. Some strength on that one. Relationships, team. That's one thing that I can definitely say I have found the edge. If you know the relationships, you can find the sympathy play. And that's exactly what Joby was. To me, yeah, they came out with news, but it was well-timed news. That's good PR. That's what that is. That's good PR, man. When you know that your stock is at a good level, that's when you bring out the good news, man. Trust me. The companies are not dumb, man. They know this. It's like if I was an auto manufacturer and I had news to give out that was positive, on a day that Tesla's making a move like this, that's when you throw it out there. That's when you tell everybody, oh, we have this many sales today, right? Trust me, PR firms are not dumb. Keep that in mind. Clean spark, looking for the next grind higher, guys. Back through the 1520s, and I'll take it out and look to get entered into this. But for right now, I'm letting it grind and grind. VEV started to turn back around after that shakeout toward the downside. I still don't see it popping, so I'm not adding the big size yet. When it starts to pop, that's when I'm going to add the big size. Zap turning around, guys. There's the breakdown in Zap. That's one thing I see in Zap right now. I'm probably not going to go after it because it didn't get to my 14 level, but it is starting to break a little bit there. Going to you, Rocco. What do you see in the market right now? What you taking a look at?
So I got a trade ideas alert for TSLQ, but I missed the entry, so I'm going to show it to you. It is a beauty, just a little bit too late. You see this, how it was kind of having a first leg down, then a little bit pulled back towards the 9 EMA, and then that's kind of a typical ABCD pattern, right?
Love to hear the ABCs, man. We all need to know our ABCs.
But my knowledge stops at D.
Yeah, man. That's one thing that I've looked into. I would love more programmings for like Elliott wave theory and stuff like that. I have seen certain programs offer it, but man, that's the stuff that really interests me when I study technicals. I don't know about you, Rocco, but that really blows my mind, and I really try to take it in. And I look for this in penny stocks all the time. Kind of the 1, 2, 3 up to the 5 move, where you get that 3 move, where it's the expansion move. That happens all the time. The question is, how do I go and tackle that? Things that you can think about, team, to look and study. Elliott wave theory is so interesting, man.
No, I agree. So, and I also kind of sometimes try to simplify, right? I just want to compare how much effort is being put in by seller or buyer and how much of the result was achieved, right? And here we have, if you look at how big let's say the candle is, from open to close in this this place, it is a red candle, meaning that it open was higher than the close. And when you look at the volume, right, you can see that the volume, basically the effort of sellers, followed the result, right? On a previous one, you can see very small volume, but still kind of a decent move. So that was kind of, let's say, going against the theory that effort should be followed by the result, right? So, and usually that it is described in the books that you mentioned, right? Like anomaly, when you have a huge move but low volume, or basically consistent or confirmed action when you have a high volume and large price move, or low volume and low price move, right?
Looking for VEV here, guys, that start making the move here, guys. It's setting up off of that 80 spot here. This is what I'm going to look to start getting the sizing added. I have a stop limit order here to go ahead and trigger, and you guys can see it right on the screen. I don't hide things from you guys. I show you guys what I'm doing here. You see the stop limit order. So 81 hits. Now the stop limit is out for 75, and I can add on the market buys on pullbacks. So there's 80s holding up right now. Looking to see if I can add the sizing. I do see sizing on the offer at 82s. That's the next step up when it starts to break that 82. I have a 75 add out for 700 shares. And I can just add here if it starts to break the trend line, which is at the 82 spot. So I'll show you guys that in just a second here on the 5-minute. There's a trend line right above it that we can watch. But the 5-minute chart is what I'm looking at mainly here. You can see here on the trend line, this approach here. As we start to break through this trend line and hold, that's what I'm looking at for the next move. So I'll just go ahead and I'll make this a little thicker so you guys can see it here. And you see right there, we're starting to break that 82 now. Now on 80 pullback, I can just add here. Let's see if I get the 80 pullback. No 80 pullback right now. There's just setting up here. I'm looking at the bid to see where the bids are. 81 and 80 right now on the pullback. So that makes complete sense for me. Just trying to reload there, some off the 80s. That's where I can go ahead and add a little bit here. There's 80. Boom. You see it right on the offer. I take it on the offer. Let's go. Let's see if we can start to get this going now. Now I want to see this take off to the 90 and the $1 spot. That's going to be vital for it to keep that drive type of move. All right, Clean Spark up there to 1550s. Let's take a look at Clean Spark as it starts to push. Got to a high there of 1555. Looking for the next drive there to take the profits and run, right? I don't mind taking it off at like 1570s. Just pulled back to the 1540s. Looking for that to hold there. IVP mentioned in the chat. That's one that we'll keep a watch on. We'll see what happens there. Archer is still holding that. And look at City. The City's still dropping there. It bounced for a second. It's back to 64.
If you share my screen, I can explain a little bit. So
yeah, got you up, my friend.
Right. So if you look at the book map, right, and you focus your attention to the left, you can see there was that big, so to speak, short opportunity where the price went from 65.20 all the way down to 64, right? And then that was a support, right, that just was kind of giving back the price up to 64.80, and then the sellers got back in. You can see much more red circles, right, going down, much more green circles going up. And now basically that support, right, was again kind of tested. Like second time, you see how it went from the 64 up to 64.80. Now it went back to 64. And now in this situation, the sellers were strong enough and broke it, right? But now you see how it picked up again. So there is a strong buyer at this 64 because the price is again back up to 64.9. You see it went to 63.91. There was 5,100 shares bought and then immediately jumped up. Boom. You know, you see. So that's kind of telling us that there is some strong support at this level, right? So now depends what type of trader you are, right? Are you the trader that's going to follow what happened before? So thinking that if it was bought once, if it was bought twice at this level, it's going to be bought third time, right? Or you're going to wait for the breakdown, but the breakdown of this level has to be on high volume because there is obviously a buyer. And you can see that buyer was sitting there before by these colors. The red colors means high limit order, was absorbing all the aggressive market orders, then came back, you see, because from left to right, we are in time, right? This is all history on the left. And you can see how it came back, was waiting, and absorbing these sellers. So this is the fight, this is the support. Once the support is broken, it is good to wait for a retracement, right? When it drops down, that goes back to that level because the support will become resistance. That's kind of one of the rules, right? Where support becomes resistance becomes support once it is broken, okay? And you can see how it is holding around this 64. That's telling us there is a buyer, a huge, big one that thinks this is a good price to buy, okay?
Not a bad level there to watch, guys. Smash the like. You guys know where you're at. Hit the like button. It's Trade the Pool, guys. Let's see what we come up with today, guys. Looking around to see what's making a move. I see this NISN above the $10 spot. That one is moving fast there. I don't know if it's on a halt right now. It looked like it might have halt. Yeah, I think it just pulled back really quickly there. Just be careful out there, guys. A lot of action going on in the market. You guys throw up the ticker that you guys are watching. Anything you guys are taking a look at, we'll take a look at too. Zap's trying to come back here. Zap is a hard one there. Tesla's still chomping around a little bit, around the 245, got to a high of 247.
So now actually broke. The 64 broke decently, right, on a higher volume. So now I'm basically back in with a short.
All right, guys. Moving up a stop here, guys, up towards that recent downside action there that came in right around the 1536 spot for Clean Spark. So I'm moving up my stop to about 1530s here. Below 1530s, I just got to get out and take the money and run. I'm looking for the next run to 1570s, though. Here's that attempt there to break it. Still haven't put it out there, just holding on to it right now. Still no real breakout there for VEV, so just be careful out there, team. VEV pulling back there. We'll look to see if it gets hot again and gets back to the 81s. Archer through 5 there, guys. Through 5 on Archer there. So that was one that I was watching just a second ago. bunched up there at the 495s, just went through that 5. We'll look to see what happens there. City, 6380s.
Yeah, I entered when it broke that 64. I got entered at 63.92.
Boom, boom.
So it's pretty good, and it's looking good. If you share the screen, I can explain a little bit again.
We'll do, man. I'll put you up right now. Seeing that LCFY just bounced off that $5 spot. It was making a move earlier today. Keep your eyes on that one. That thing did rocket yesterday. We'll look to see it. I will say that spread is pretty wide there, though. Be careful with that. That's a wide spread.
Okay, so what happened here, even if you focus your attention on the left corner, right, where I have 1 minute chart, you can see there was a buyer at 64, and then it was hitting. The sellers were hitting the 64, right, till it broke on a higher volume again, relatively compared to the previous ones, right? And that's when I entered, when this broke on a higher volume, and now I'm waiting again to resolve. I have this volatility of 12 cents now. So basically, if it goes from 73 to 85, I will be out again, right? So, but it's working now in my direction. And here on the bookmap, you can see another indicator, and that's below the chart, here labeled CVD, and it's called cumulative volume delta. So it kind of sums up aggressive sellers and aggressive buyers, right? But more kind of a simple way to explain it is you can see how this line is going down, 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 down. So that is telling us that the sellers are completely in charge. As soon as this kind of line starts to turn around and goes back, right, then we will kind of start to see some effort from the buyers. But at the moment, it's still going down, down, down. And basically the lower lows on the price level should be matching the lower lows with this line. And let's say at this moment when it broke, right, at 63.92, we can see that this point was lower than the previous one when it was at 64. So that was kind of another validation that the breakout was true breakout. All right. So now it's having a little bit of retracement. I just was talking, so I didn't follow, so I'll have to exit this one. But let's see how this candle will close. All right.
All right, seeing VEV back to 70 cents here. Got to keep a watch on it, guys. Don't really want it to break down back below that 66-cent mark. Still got about 600 shares of that one. Keeping a close eye on it. Also watching Clean Spark to see if it can make that next move up and continue grinding higher. I'll look to see if it gets that next step up there in Clean Spark. Spark on, Clean Spark. Cleanly, man. All right. Just put a stop right below that recent 1 minute action, the 1532s. 1531, I got. Looking for this to kind of break out back through the 1550 spot. All right, here it goes, guys. Here's Clean Spark trying to make the move here. I'm going to put it big so we can watch it here. You can see my stop right here, guys, right? So right below it here. Trying to get through that 1540 spot here. Can't do it for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel, but that's where I want to stop out. So if it comes back, the action's back towards that 1532, I'm just going to X out. So looking for the pop here above the 1550s, going to the 1570s. Is a good outlook there for me. I think it get even to 16 today, but you know, don't want to push it too much. That's the right here. This kind of next push here will get towards a prior support that could act as resistance, right? So a lot of times I'm looking to sell into that move, not try to be too greedy off of that move. Other things to look at is hourly candles. That's what I always love, right? Hourly candles are going to show us a lot where the resistance could come into play, where the flip could also come into play, right? So you can see here how that runs right into this 1560. That's a layer where, yeah, it could get hot and start making the move through 16, but it also could run right into that. Smash the like if you guys like me showing you guys everything, even the position there, so you guys can see all the action there. Not too many people are willing to show you guys all this action. Great insights coming out there. We're getting some love in the chat. That's what I love to see, man. That's what we're here for at the end of the day. IVP on the halt. Okay, I'll put it up for you guys. That's definitely a known runner. Where should I put it? Tesla, man, got up there to 247. Zap's still struggling a little bit there. IVP, you got that one, bullseye? That got up there to like almost what? Almost 9 there? Yeah, definitely making a move there on IVP. I'm going to go to the 1 minute, but that thing's going to be moving fast, guys. Look at that thing all around here. Love to hear it, Future Day Trade. Love that you guys enjoy it. That's what it's about, man. All right, this VEV, getting to the point where I'm going to lower down the risk because nothing's going on here, guys. But if it starts to pop, I can always add this size right back. So I just lowered down the risk there, took 300 out just in case for a wipeout look on VEV, right? Since it's such a penny name, the only thing I'm worried about is a move back down to like 30 cents. So with that being said, I just cut down the size there that I was adding back. So I added 300 at 80. I just took it out there at like 74, 73. So that's just kind of more of a way to manage the risk. Clean Spark going for that 1550. Let's go, Clean Spark. Let's go. Get it up there. Get it up there, Clean Spark. I'm trying to take my money bag and run with it. Can it rain? Can it rain? All right, guys, up about 116 here on Clean Spark. Already took about 60 off of this trade, so wouldn't mind to see another little break towards the 1560s, 1570s here. Pullback should hold the 1538, so that's actually moving up and up. So that's actually a good look as the 9 EMA keeps following it. IVP fighting that $8 spot. Zap still fighting that 1250s. Tesla, when it comes back to 250 today, guys, ooh, swing trading action. That 1 hour resistance is going to stand out to me like hell. And the big thing is too, for like a day like today, it could just be this solid ramp back. And then I'm going to look for selling imbalances towards the close. So that's another thing, another key, right? Do they just grind it back, hedge it back into day trading action, and then they slam it down again? That's what I'll be watching for. Tesla can easily do that, man. It could even go through that 250 on the up end and then get slammed back down. Another thing is Tesla loves to move after hours. Just to give you guys another perspective a lot. I've seen Tesla love to move after hours on a day like that. Zap trying to come back here, guys. We'll see if Zap can make the next step up on the 5-minute 9 EMA. You can see it right there off the 270s, 280s. You see right here, up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. Now should hold this 1240s to the support to the right-hand side. You can see it right there, how it just wicked, undercut, now starting to go. I'd be looking for that 1240 to hold. Let's see if it takes out 1340s and makes a run to 14. We'll see what happens there on Zap. Back down below, let's say 1220s and 12s. That's when I could really see that Zap chart break. Here's Clean Spark, 1555s, trying to make the move to 1560s, has a high at 1556. Let's go to the 1 minute, watch that, and get ready to take some profits and run with it. All right, kind of holding in there, looking for one more little drive to the 160 spot. That's about 150 on the profits there. Right now, I'm throwing it up there just in case I get a quick little move back there. If it heads back in through like the 1540s, I could also just take that money and run. So now I'm between about 10 cents difference. Want to make sure I take that profit. IVP 790s trying to recover 8 here. That's the spot, I think, for the kind of the quick traders, right? IVP is a hard one though, man. So let me see the 1 minute, 9 minute pullback. Yeah, the 90 MA is right off of this kind of 780 spot. So it's just a trade strategy that's used often for momentum traders, which is a 90 MA outlook. Where did it halt? It halt at 785. It's trying to hang out right at that 785 spot. Clean Spark, a nice little move to 1557 almost. We'll see if it gets back up there, guys. Canceling the sell right now, just looking for it to make the move. Back below 1540s. I can also just cut it. Zap testing that area for support right now. We'll look to see if it holds that support. All right, sticking with my trades that I have on this morning, IVP recovering that $8 spot. We'll look to see if it keeps going, goes back there towards the 887, so maybe potential 9 on there. We'll see. That's a hard one there, but definitely some trades out there to look at. I'm going to look around at my playbook this morning. American Tower came back here towards 208 out the open, 207. Still staying strong on that one. Didn't really give me the pullback opportunity. XLE definitely giving you that pullback opportunity. We'll see what happens there. And Pfizer, not looking too bad, guys. That's one stock that I definitely will put on the radar right quick. I'll just take a look at it here on the top right, or change over that one. All right, but look at this, guys. So you see Pfizer holding well, guys. This is one that I definitely put on the radar today. And I think that there's a lot of buying that has already stepped in this. Yesterday, kind of indecision candle. Now you're taking 29. A real close above 30 will show me that strength there. We'll see what happens there in Pfizer. And this has been a dog of all dogs. It's a dog with fleas, and you don't like those, guys. All right, VEV, when will that one go? It didn't go. IVP also cooling back here to the 760s. Definitely trapping some people off of that A push. Clean Spark trying to reload there at 1540s. As soon as it starts to make the move back up or through the low on the 1 minute, I will go ahead and set the stop there. There, it's back into the 1544s. I'm going to look for it to give it a shot, but I do have this stop ready for 1537 here. There's that. Zap just crushed that 12 there, guys. It crushed that 12. All right, setting my stop with that mention there. We'll see what happens there on Clean Spark. If it comes back to the support there, I'm getting the heck out of that. Trying to battle with Clean Spark, but I'll still make sure that I take my $84 and run. Run, baby, run. VEV still hanging around in that one, guys. All right, catching up with the chat. What's going on out there, guys? Look at NNE. I've talked about this one, Nuclear Nano. I've actually shorted this earlier in the week. It's still pretty weak, but we'll see what happens on that one. Looking around to see if there's any other trade that's making a move out there. Zappy Zap. Definitely got zapped down. Lucid popping off, guys. Lucid. Oh, man. Lucid makes me laugh, guys. But Lucid is getting a nice little move here. I'm going to take off Zap. I'm going to show you guys Lucid here. It's not looking too bad on the daily. You can see how it's pushing there towards the 409. Definitely getting a little lift there. The trashy stocks, man. All right, there's some pullback there for Clean Spark. We'll see what happens. It's definitely on that like kind of make it or break it stage. I'm going to go back to VEV. That's also on the make it or break it. It's bottomed out plenty of times, has the volumes ability. So when we go sideways on a stock like this, it's 70 cents. How much volume is traded in between this? Tons, right? So what you end up having an opportunity is for big position sizing to build up. So now what they would be looking at, right? Maybe a penny or two off the low. So 65s maybe as the support. Resistance right now has been up there towards what, 79 cents and 80 cents. So let's say back through like 90. Yeah, that would be a look that those big share sizers are ready to take the swing. We'll see what happens there. City. How'd JPM do? JPM, of course, one to kind of keep a look at. Back down to the 203 spot. Okay. What was the spot in the pre-market action? We blew through that spot. That was at the 205.25 spot. Tesla to 246. Tesla's still hanging in there. All right, Clean Spark now going up there to 1550s. Let's go, Clean Spark. We're going to go ahead and set a trailing stop here, guys, on the action. So you see right here on the bot, you can do it right on the chart. You see this little down lever? That's a trailing stop there. Set it, forget it. Let it work now. Let it work. At this point, it's either going to keep ripping or it's going to come back and it's going to cut me out, team. You see, there's the little push. That's kind of what I like. And you see how the stop starts moving up. So now it's just going to trail it. And sometimes what I do is if I feel like it's getting too close and I still want to give it a little room, I can pull it back a slight hair. Like right there, I pulled it back. It's still the trailing stop, but I'm pulling it back to give myself a little room, right? Because sometimes they'll get close there and then the market maker can just take your size there, right? So with that being said, I just pull back it a little bit, still leaving it on the trailing stop. And that's a market order. So it'll fill quickly. Right. All right, guys, I do want to show you guys this VEV because I'm starting to get the focus on this one. And one of the things that I've been trying to do more is just stick to the trades that I'm looking at, especially conviction. I have the conviction in these. Let's see what happens in VEV today. But now I kind of got this 5-minute outlook that starts to really kind of start to turn here. And you can see this trend line here approach. Now we're starting to break it. Now I'm going to start looking for sizing really that starts to size in here, especially at 80. That's when I expect to see that strength to come into the market here. Remember, the all-time support is around this 62, 60 cents. That's where I can really see like breakdowns happening. But 80s is where I think you'll get the strength to come back in the market, really looking at to see what happens there. So let me just draw a square here. Rectangle into this spot here is going to be very important as we start to recover. Boom, boom. All right, guys. Clean Spark tried now has made 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts here. Now on the next break above the 53s, if it goes to like 57, I'll just move the stop to 1550. At this point, it's probably going to come back and hit me in the 1540s. But at this, I'm just at this point, it's like either run or take the profits. And that's the way I'm seeing it in Clean Spark. All right, the VEV will be on my radar now. IVP trying to come back through 8. That's another one to maybe look at there. There's the move towards the 8. We'll see if it's able to hold there. I take a look at IVP here and I go back towards the 1 minute. What do I see at the 750s? The VWAP. So VWAP buyers stepping in there off IVP. Let's see if it gets back through 8 and makes a move here. There's a lot of times where you'll see the scalpers probably play that 8 to the 825s, looking to take a quick little pop above 8 and take the money and run. We'll see what happens. Look at Lucid. Lucid. It's pushing. All right, let's go to some bigger boys. What's moving in the market there? Rivian actually doing pretty well with that Tesla move kind of staying strong, right? I talked about it. When those can stay strong, I think these can stay strong too. Rivian, look at that. Big push up there to 18. Rivian, pretty hot there, guys. Nice move there. Array also showing up. Hims is an interesting one, of course. And Fastenal, we talked about that earnings report earlier. Jemiah showing up there too. That's been a hot name as of late. We'll see if that keeps moving, but it's not the fastest move, right? All right, guys, all out of the clean spark there. Came back to the 1540s, got me out. Could still make the run to the 1570s, but I'm going to take the money and run, put myself in the green, and then look to see if I can get myself bigger green here towards the open, towards the continued action in the market. I was red a little bit. That's why I'm not big green. On the day, I was down about 60. I took about, 150 on that clean spark trade. All right, let's keep going, team. Let's take a look around. Let's see what else I can come into. IVP is still struggling at that 750s. Tried to get back through that 8. We'll see if it does get through there. VEV still holding in that 69 cents as the support, but it couldn't give it up. I'm just keeping a close eye on that one. We'll see if it actually does make a move today. Catching up with the comments, guys. What's up? We got the throw up from Zap. I hope you were able to catch that throw up. Day trade, probably the only throw up you ever want to catch. Rain in Lambos. What's up out there, guys? All right, I go to a prayer channel after the show. I love it, Future Day Trade. You know what I do after the show sometimes, guys? I do, of course, I'm dealing with the twins and I kind of watch them. But one of my best tips that I did for a while is watch The Price is Right after the show. After trading, I watch The Price is Right. Everybody knows The Price is Right. Who doesn't know The Price is Right, right? Dun, 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 dun. So the thing about The Price is Right, why I think it's important to look at something like this, and here, listen to this insight, guys. So what do we do in trading? We win and lose big money, right? Well, what is The Price is Right? A lot of the times it's games to win and lose big money. So if I can watch something like that afterwards, it really kind of hones me in on understanding that this is just the way life works, guys. Especially if you're going to be in these games, it's going to be win, lose, big lose, and part of that is understanding that money comes in and out. We can't focus too much on that. We can only focus on the game at hand. So Price is Right, guys. A little bit of a tip, maybe get a little bit of a psychological advantage. All right, guys, let's smash the like. I used to do the same. Hey, it's not a bad way to kind of end the day, right? Start watching a little bit of The Price is Right. Look at IVP there, guys. That thing shot off like a rocket there. 840s now. Big push up through the 8s. That's the one that a lot of the scalpers go after. Take that profit and run. Rivian still doing well there. We'll look to see if that one can keep going. IVP back to 850s there. Clean Spark is still making that run. So maybe it just came back and stopped me out. That's fine. We'll continue to watch Clean Spark. It was a good trade there. Got to give myself the insight. Look at the trade there. It was a pretty one, guys. Maybe you can hold a little bit of the piece to keep it going. I lately have been trying to just take the money and run. But right there, not looking too bad. I'll look to see how Mara's doing. It was a very similar trade outlook. Look at that. Very similar charts that I'm seeing in Mara and Clean Spark. And Mara continuing that nice push. All right, guys, short Mara, but lookies, it looks like it's going to move up. Yeah, Eric, it's a tough one, man. I think this has to do more with the switch that you saw with MSTR. MSTR being that stock that gave a split outlook, and MSTR is up today. That's what I was concerned about. Even though I was short outlook, it was short until I saw this MSTR make that mention. It was just because the truth is that everyone's been looking for these splits. And so the psychology kind of flipped on me. We'll see what happens on MSTR if it can really get going today. IVP almost taking out 9 now. So IVP definitely hot, guys. Look at that 9 takeout there. Boom, now to 9.010, 9020s almost. Ooh, hit there for a second there. 917. Look at that IVP. Big strength coming in on that one.
If you want to share for day trade with Tony, I put everything related to Zap on the screen.
There you go. I love to see it. Love to see it, man. Let us know. What are you seeing there?
So Zap is, I think, short biased. Am I right? Day trade with Tony. You wanna? You're looking to short Zap. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, correct.
Yeah.
I know that one already.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's kind of a retracement. That's usually called the dead cat bounce, right?
Yeah, the dead cat bounce, man.
Like day trade Tony said, it's just vomited. And now it's coming back, but you see how low volume is on that retracement. So I'm still kind of thinking it's bullish. What is going against the bullish is two things: that there is a large order at 1191, okay, and the second thing is that cumulative volume delta, you see, took the turn after that vomit a little bit going up. So it is kind of, I think, a toss coin at this point, right? Because it made now it's working in this range. So 1165, that was open. This brown line means open, and somewhere around 1130. So it is in some traders call it kill zone. Don't enter now till you have confirmation.
That's exactly it right there, guys. I'm looking at another penny name that was moving earlier. And I'll call it a penny name. It really isn't a penny name, but NISN. It's another one that's moving strong. And look at IVP go, man. That thing is strong. Tesla's still strong too. Rivian's strong too. So that's where I get a little bit careful on Zap. And I get a little bit scared because that's in the same space, right? So that's just one thing to note. IVP halt. There you go, bullseye. I hope you were able to nail that one. It's NISN. Look at this one, guys. This morning, making a big rip right before the bell, ripped up there towards 1190s. It's at 865s right now, off the 850s. I'm just noticing that there's support right underneath it towards 8. So it's still a little ways away from there. But on the 15-minute, you have some also support that could come into play. This one could be maybe like a later in the day trade, especially if it starts to go sideways a little bit and starts to slow down. That's just something that I'm looking at, and that's on NISN. So that's this one right here that made that big run. Just keeping it on the watch, because when stocks make big runs and retrace that 100%, that's usually when you get that next move. So right now it's made that first move. It's looking to maybe make a second. BEV. I'm still keeping my watch on that, guys. There's so much volume that has been trading hands in between this, and it's not going anywhere. So that just tells me more and more, when it gets sleepy, wait for it to wake up. So when stocks get sleepy, I wait for it to wake up, and that's when I want to really take the swing.
So I got back into the city. So I had once minor loss because it retraced back, but now it again, as Tony would say, vomited. So I'm back in a little bit heavier this time, because it just again working around that 64 level that just kind of was blasted through. See this kind of whoa.
No vomiting here, guys. No vomiting. No, I don't need no projectiles hitting me. Carvana recovering a little bit there. I know that someone was watching that earlier. So Carvana hourly support coming into play with that one. Now holding in multiple times around the 128.50s. So that's just one thing to note on Carvana. Not looking too bad there. IVP, man, what a move there. 947. I was looking at it as it was starting to come back, because it held that 750 attempt here. It looked interesting there, but just really not up my alley, guys, trading these. And so it's very difficult. One thing that I've been noticing more, if I want to come after these that are moving fast already, I'm going to start trying to come after them, but in like a 1/10 of the size that I want to get. So a 1/10, just to give you guys the idea. That means I need to do 10 entries to get to full size. Things like that, I think, could help me. Some people like to just do the big sizing really quickly, but that's easily how I see the bid just come down. And then next thing you know, you're like caught in a trade. So, hey, to each his own. There's different strategies you guys can try to use. Smash the like, guys. All right, guys, looking around out there, guys, smash the like. Looking around to see what I can get, guys. Seeing if we can really start to see a lift there. Look at this NISN, guys. We just talked about it. There's it towards 930. So this thing is a fast mover, but it's also really illiquid. So just be careful out there, guys. This thing is moving. The volume isn't the biggest volume, so just to keep that in mind. But it's starting to push there. There's 940s now. That thing made a move in a hurry there. NISN. Was up big earlier, guys. This thing was up there towards what, 12? Yeah, 12. There's City. Someone flushed that turd. Look at Tesla, guys. Almost back to that 250 spot we were looking in the pre-market. See right here? It's kind of 250.90. I'm going to look for a breakthrough on 251. And then I'm going to start looking to get some shorts filled towards the 260 spot in the swing account. All right, guys, VEV back here, guys, starting to try to make the move. It's still just hanging out here, but let's see if we can finally get some volume to come in here and see this bad boy move. The 80 spot, so important, guys, the 80 spot. Tesla moving fast, man. Look at IVP, though. Now that's moving fast. 1050 almost, guys, on IVP. Appreciate you traders bringing it up, guys. Look at that thing, man. 1070s for a second there. And it was just trading at 8. That's a monster move right there. Woohoo! IVP, what a change of hands there. How did Clean Spark do that? Continuing? Yeah, it did. Look at that push, guys. Went towards 1577 on Clean Spark. So I took the money a little bit early. Hey, that's fine. I could see this getting to like 16 today. We'll see if it finally gets up there.
Rich, can you check IVP?
IVP?
Yeah, IVP.
Yeah, it's right here. It's on the corner right here on this bottom left.
Yeah, I see it. So did you play it or?
Oh no, I didn't. Right here, it made sense off the 750 like VWAP, and then the attempt down to break it. Right, so you see here like 1, 2, 3. You get this reversal, which is a strong candle, right? And so you're looking for strong kind of bullish engulfing candles like this, right? Where you get this kind of breakout, right? But what I also look for is 3 attempts to break down and then a turnaround. So 1, 2, 3. You tried to go back towards this low, this 30s. You hit here right off the 750s. You go up, some buying comes in. You can see it by the green volume here. And then it comes back, catches that, and doesn't break that low. Right there, the real buying started to go back through the 8s. And so right there, after you start to break that 8, you look for a hold of this high, right? So the support to come back to that, break out above, some profit taken through the 9, it pulls right back towards that layer and takes the next step up. But you got to be quick to trade that, right? That's the truth. Their trade's there. The setups are there. The question is, can you execute on that kind of speed of trade, right? You're talking within seconds and sometimes even milliseconds. So the computers are the ones that win the most on these because they don't think, right? They just react. That's the type of trader that you need to be if you're trying to get a name like IVP, where you don't think, you react, right? Thinking in a name like this costs you, right? I can tell you guys, because that's how I get, like over analytical, right? The daily levels, things like that. I start thinking about too much instead of just buying off the 9 EMA and trying to ride it, right? It's very difficult. Tesla might move 50% of that red candle. I love that outlook, Vic. We talk about 50% retracements all the time. That's part of the kind of the retracement levels. Between 50% and 61.8, which is the golden mean, is the area that I like. So 50% and 61. So coming back into that spot would be an area that I like, but it's not a bad outlook, Vic. Things like this, I love to catch. VIV starting to get going here. 80 cents, guys. Can we really kind of just take off here? I got to take my shot here, guys. I'm going to take it as soon as it hits 81 and starts to fill that 80 offer that right there is 12,200 shares. I'm going to hit it, and I'm going to hit it hard here, guys, on VEV. I'll put it up here so I can show you guys it as I do it. Been waiting for this, right? You guys see the levels that I've been looking for. I think this is also important that I show you guys this mentality, right? So into that box is where I want to size into. And a lot of that is, now that the moment has come, do I think? No, I react, right? Whether it goes well for me or not, I can't think about that. I can only think about that this is where I said that I would be taking the execution off of. And now it's time to go ahead and execute. 3K on that IVP. Get it, get it, get it, get it.
Yeah, and this about execution, right? Mitch, basically what you were saying, you have to have that protocol, playbook, trade book, whichever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. And once you get that statistical edge, the most important thing is to be consistent. Yeah. Can you actually repeat it all the time, again and again?
If that's your process, so right? If that's your process, when the moment comes, it's no longer thinking. We do all that thinking in the pre-market, right? We do all that thinking after hours and setting up our system and how we want to go about things. When things start to show up, we need to be more in, this is what's happening. A, B gives me C, and I go in. As simple as that, right? It doesn't need to be emotions now. Your emotions are never going to help us. They're just going to hurt us. The only thing that we can do is be more and more systematic, because that's repeatable. If you're not systematic, then you're just waving it under the sun. And then if you do that, there's just no consistency. So even if you do well on one, doesn't mean you're going to do well on 2, 3, and 4, right? So you can see it, Rocco and I trying to keep using our systems the way we trade and just keep getting after it. That's what needs to happen there, guys. And for you guys out there, do the same. Understand what you do well in and what you do bad in is so important in trading. Your strengths and your weaknesses. Weakness for me, missing trades. I talk about it all the time. Perfect setup. I want to take the trade here, want to do this here, set it all up. The trade comes, I don't execute, and then the stock just rips. Perfect case like Joby, right? And then you're just scratching your head as the stock just keeps ripping through the highs all day, and I didn't take the trade. Those are moments where I feel like that's my weakness, right? I need to learn, how do I get around that? Well, if I take that plan, take the trade. Even small, but take the trade. All right, guys, we'll see what else is out there. You got 4-1 on IVP. There you go. Take what you can get, Bullseye. There's nothing wrong with that approach. And I'm glad I didn't jump off of the 80 there. I can tell you guys there, my hands were itching to place the order, right? The 700 ad. I had it right there ready to go, and it didn't hit the 81. The 81 was really the level to hit there. And now we're right back to the support. So just trying to see if we're going to get in that box for the big ad. If not, I'll keep it with this 300, and then I can lose what, 20 cents? That's fine. That's only 60 bucks. All right, guys, it's 10:40 in a second here. I'm going to go into action on market sentiment. So, Rocco, if you want to kind of get that action stuff and you want to talk a little bit about that, we'll go to that in just a second here. And a lot of action going on in the market today. A lot of movements back and forth. We'll continue to watch it. I'm looking to see right now that NISN one. That thing's crazy, but the spread is like 40 cents there, guys. That's where it gets really difficult. Like a spread like 40 cents in the $9 range is a no touch for me. It needs to tighten up. And it does for a second, but it also stays wide by 10 cents at the lowest right now. Right there, it splits 32 cents. And it could go as full wide. I've seen it as 45 cents. So to me, NISN is a no touch because of that. Now, if I go to IVP, what am I seeing? I'm seeing about 15 cents spread. So even that is still a little hard to get around, right? There's the 1050s, guys. IVP, what a monster, dude. This thing doesn't want to stop. This is how you get those, let's say, those traders out there, Warrior Trader, those traders out there like Timothy Sykes. This is their type of trade right there, guys. Look at that thing. What a monster move. All right, guys, let's keep it going, guys. Barrett flag set up on Zap. We'll see what happens on that one. See if it can really make the move or not. But, man, IVP, what a monster move there today. All right, going back to it, guys. You guys can still see IVP here on the bottom left. Tesla to the 250s. 250s. 250.37. Getting that relief pop for sure.
So I have some workers starting to work in my yard, so I will have to go.
No, guys, no. Rocco has to go. Tell those workers to get out of here, guys.
but here's the day. Here's the day with Mitch. Always winning, always winning.
Hey, love to see it, my friend. Love to see it, Rocco. And keep getting after it, my friend. Remember, the door is open whenever you want, my friend.
And I just want to point out, I traded only one stock, City, today. I didn't shift. And it was very profitable.
I like that, man. You have a tendency of just sticking to something. You're going to focus on that. You're not going to take your attention away. You're not going to look at the ice cream truck that's coming down the street. You're going to focus on the car that you're in and the vehicle that you can drive, Rocco. It's great to have you like always, my friend. Have a good one. Tell those workers they can come back next time. But it will always have you back, man. Take care, Rocco.
Sure.
It's good to have you, man.
Bye.
All right. I'll let Rocco get out of here, guys. Give him some love in the chat. Throw up some likes for Rocco sticking with us today. And not a bad guy at all. I love the way he uses Bookmap, guys. We really need to do a little lesson on Bookmap. Next week, I'm going to see if Rocco has a day to come on to just specifically teach us about Bookmap and how to use it. I can also reach out to someone on Bookmap's team to kind of show us some other things that we can do. Hit the like if you guys are interested in something like that, or hit the comments after the show and let me know, yes, I want to learn more on that, and we can take a little bit deeper dive into it. All right, Timothy Sykes doesn't chase those IVP. You know, he's already in them, Bullseye. Trust me, man. I know what he's all about. He buys dips, washes under ones. Yeah, he does buy pennies, but trust me, he also trades those. He trades high of day breakouts often too. I know Warrior Trading is probably all over that IVP. He's been trading these names as of late, and trust me, I keep watch on all those guys. It's a big lesson for me. I kind of keep watch of what they like to trade, and then I start to focus that, hey, those names you got to be careful because the washes could come fast. TQQQ moving back. Yeah, Tesla's back there towards that hourly 250.90, guys. I'm about to go switch over to the swing trade side of things and take a starter short there on Tesla. Looking for this to kind of start to break a little bit there. So let me go focus on Tesla right here as it starts to get back there towards the 250. We got a high right now, 250.50. So I don't mind starting a little bit of a start here for the swing account, but I'm really looking for the 251 here. And I'm getting that push right now, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get it here. If I could get the push towards 251, I want a starter there. And I want to go slow first and then work my way there. So 5 at 251. And I'm going to go up to 251.50s. And then do another 5. And then I'm going to go to 252 and do another 5. So the swing trade is up there towards even the 252 mark. And I'm looking to go ahead and get some entries there on the swing side of things for Tesla. If I don't get the 251 spot, that's fine, guys. It went to 250.80 there. So it might not hit the 251. But a lot of times I've seen Tesla go above and below this level. So I'm going to look to try to see if I can get it there. I know a lot of people are looking at that hourly level, and that was 250.90. So it's right there, guys. So it could just miss it by 10 cents. If that happens, so be it. I'm still looking to try to get a shot on this. All right, guys, I'm going to leave those working right now. If they start to hit, I can go focus on this. I'm going to switch back over and let's keep going, guys. Still watching VEV. I just want to go ahead and set a stop there for VEV to make sure that I don't get like hit while I'm not paying attention. All right, I haven't even set a stop at all for VEV. Now is when I'm going to go ahead and set it here. I'm going to set it at 56 cents, guys. Giving myself a little bit of room, but if it does come back down and gets me, it gets me. I need to go focus on other action. Vic, I'm trying to start the swing on the short. You're a brave man. Well, it's the look that I looked at in the morning. That's the most important thing. It's the look that I looked at in the morning, right? Here's Tesla. It's right back to it. Here's the look, guys, off the hourly. Look at this level right here. That's the layer. Now let's see those shorts get filled there. Looking for that to start getting filled. I already got one fill, guys. So you guys see it here. I ain't lying. I got the shorts out there. You guys can see it. One got hit right now. Already pulling back a little bit. Looking to add some more on this. This is the swing, so I don't want to get too big too early. I need to start seeing red candles in Tesla before I start really adding. So with that being said, can just start looking to see if this can get another little pop and give me some more fills towards the 252. It can go all the way up, like 255, 260s. So another thing is, where do I want to stop out? Where's the risk? The risk is going to be up here, guys. I'll show you guys the trade. So the risk is up towards this prior support. So over here, that's the risk, right? I can start filling in here all the way up to even around the 257 spot. Then the 260 spot would definitely be that risk. So this is only about 15 shares. I'm willing to go get up to it's about like 50 or 60 shares. So just to put that in perspective, that could be up there towards the 255 spot. But for right now, just got one entry and just looking to go ahead and see if this flips. If it just flips from there, once it starts to go red, I can start looking for ads. But for right now, that's a good level for me. It's 251. All right, we'll see what else is out there. Vic G, I would ask, could I make money easier than short Tesla? Yeah, you could. You definitely could. Not counting IVP. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all about what you like to do, Noli. Like one thing I see that on you, Noli, is that you like to stick with the trends. So like if this is going up like that, you'd like to be long Tesla here. That's okay too. Like it's all good. Like I think what the important thing is just finding what works for you guys, right? Like I've seen this trade happen often. The hourly goes back to it and then it comes right back down. So we'll see what happens here, guys, with Tesla. For me, I would stay away for today and wait for 1 hour. Okay, not a bad one. Hey, I wish you guys the best, guys. That's what it's always about. All right, there I got still a little piece of Tesla. It starts to turn back a little bit, but still thinking that it can go through the 252 spot. So for right now, just letting it work. We'll see if I get some more fills. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look at the other action. Let's go back here, taking a look at some of the smaller names. It's 10:52. I want to focus in, see if I can make a trade or two more, and then we'll wrap up the day here. Like always, guys, smash the like. There's a lot for you guys to take a look at. Hit the like, guys. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit about the put to call ratio, guys. Before I get out of here, I do want to give you guys a little information about that. So definitely smash the like. We'll take a look a little bit into it here. Let's take a look at what we're talking about when we're talking about market sentiment and put call ratio. So of course, the put to call ratio is widely used sentiment indicator that measures the volume of the put options related to the call options, right? The put options give the holder the right to sell the asset, right? The call gives the right of the holder to buy the asset, right? So the ratio is calculated as the number of traded put options divided by the number of traded of call options, right? So the volume of the puts divided by the volume of the calls. A high put to call ratio indicates a bearish sentiment, as more traders are buying puts and expecting the market to decline. A low put to call ratio indicates bullish sentiment as more traders are buying calls and expecting the market to rise, right? So a lot of traders look into this more, your options traders, but I think it's definitely important to take a look at it. There's plenty of different types of put to call ratios. And there's also the contrarian indicator where if things are at extreme values, like everybody's bullish on the put to call ratio or everyone's bearish, it can also signal when markets do reversals. So a high ratio of extremely bearish may indicate that there's a potential market bottom presenting. An extremely bullish sentiment may indicate that the potential market top is starting to show up. You can use these and also moving average to kind of confirm that and take a look at it. So you really got to interpret to see what happens there. But let's suppose that the put to call ratio spikes to 1.5, indicating that there's 50% more puts being traded than calls. This could be an extremely bearish sentiment outlook, suggesting that many traders expect the market to decline, right? A contrarian trader might interpret this as a potential buying opportunity, expecting the market may soon reverse and move higher. Right. So you can also use like some day moving averages, like a 10-day moving average or a 9 to start showing you that if it does get above this level with the put to call ratio at a certain amount, let's say if it rises to 1.2 and you're above the 10-day moving average, then I go long. Things like this, right? There's plenty of different strategies you guys can be using. But I want to teach you guys more and more of conversations in the market. And if you guys ever have a topic that you guys want to talk about a little bit more, definitely throw it up, team. I will go ahead and talk a little bit more about it whenever you guys want. So there you go, guys. We reversed right off the 251 spot on Tesla. And now it's time for me to get bigger short in the swing account, right? So I'm going back to the swing account and taking a little bit more, guys. I only got 5 shares there. So back towards 250. Back towards where I kind of got in, I'm willing to get another 10, right? And so as long as it's closer towards me, I don't mind taking the shot. I got 251. As talked about 250 90s being that spot of the turnaround, I'll put some more at 250 90s. I have no problem putting a little bit more there and seeing if I can get the fill. So let me go ahead and I'll put 10 there. And then what I also want to do is move up my ads a little bit here, just in case I do get the 10 or it just spikes through, I'm getting some better fills on the pop. All right, let's keep going. Where do you find the puts and calls? So you want to be using different brokerages or different kind of things that will get you the put to call ratio, right? And different brokers will have this for you, right? I could even look it up on TC2000 in the options. For people that have that, they can look into that, or you can use different services. What you really want to do is look for a service that does probably options and take a look into that data, because that's what you're going to be using to kind of determine how you're going about it, right? So like, let's say this perfect example, just to kind of bring something up, I just searched it up just to show you guys it. Like here's bar charts, right? And they're giving you the put volume and the call volume. So you can see here how you're getting what? You're getting a lot of calls of 0.69. That's the put to call ratio. And we're looking to see what happens when you're like this, where it's like, the 722 is super bullish. It's 1.31. So a lot of people are expecting the end of the month to get bullish again. And for right now, expecting some tough times in this next 2 weeks. So that's just from what I see in the options. The only question is, how do you trade off of that? That's the important thing, right? So now we're seeing a little bit of a takedown here in Tesla. I'm going to look to see if we go back to that layer a little bit later today. I can still add some more share size. Even if I only keep this 5 shares and it comes back to, let's say 237, what are we talking about there? We're talking what? Like at least 13 points down. That's still a nice $100 gain there, somewhere there. So I'm just going to be trying to work this position. It's not about getting too big too early. That's what I always do with Tesla when I get wrecked. Is I get too big too early. We'll look to see if it gets a push back there towards the 251 to add it again. I want to see the bulls try to drive it. We'll see what happens. Where on TC, Scott? All right, well, let me go ahead and pull this up here. So you got to go and you got to take a look at the options tab. So there's an options tab on your first spot there that you can start taking a look at. You got to take a look at different names, like let's say Tesla. So, and I think you have to add a tab there. But so right here on this tab, right where you start on TC, you can see there's an options tab here at the bottom. You want to go into here, and then now you got to go ahead and kind of add that column. So you can add a column here, and you can put the put to ratio. I'm sure they have it here. Options, put to call. Boom. You see the put to call, right? And so things like that. That's kind of what you want to be taking a look at. The put to call ratio is something that I'd take a look at to see what happens. I don't do too much of this on TC. I normally look at a different kind of brokerage, but I can let you guys know that TC should have it there, so you can set it up there. Just got to kind of play with this here and take a look at the options tab on TC. All right, guys, there's Tesla right back down, guys. The hourly level held like a freaking key, man. Look at that thing. It rejected right off of that. Right off of that. We'll see what happens there, guys. See if it start working its way back. And it doesn't mean that Tesla is completely done. It can chop around here for a while. What I'm really looking for is for the end of the day and over market after hours for this to come back down. All right, guys, I use Thinkorswim for the options. Yes, there's so many platforms that you can take a look at it. And I'm not saying trade the options, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying understand the put to call ratio. And that's one way that you guys can be looking at market sentiment indicators. Another thing is the VIX, right? The VIX is so important. That's what I'd be watching today to see if we get some pop later in the day, back up there towards the 1030. We'll see what happens there. Tesla continuing to drop and starting to make me some money on the swing account, but it's a little money. I'm still looking for one more drive to happen, and then that's when I'll start getting bigger on Tesla. We'll see what happens there. All right, guys, going back to it, guys. Going to start wrapping up the day. It's 11 a.m., guys. Going to continue to watch to see what happens in the market today. I'm still in this VEV. We'll see what happens later in the day with this if it starts to make the move. It was a great day for me, guys, in CleanSpark. Best trade right here, guys. So let me go ahead and show you guys my filled orders here so you guys can see it. We don't hide things here, guys. I show you it all. You guys can see it there, guys. Getting definitely a nice little push here. Let me take the date and time off. I kind of hate when it's showing that just because it's just kind of taken up where you can see it. So here you guys see it, guys. This is how it started off the day, down 59 on that CGBS, then made more on this CleanSpark, and then took a nice little profit at the end. Lost a little bit on that VEV, just taking some share size out, but you can see CleanSpark got up there to the 1577, now pulling back to the 1530s. It was a nice opening buy here, and there's not many times where I do things like really quickly into the market today. This helped me. I was able to get some in there at 1510s, 1520s, add some there at 1505s, and then saw this really kind of take off, was taking some first profits into that move. 1540s was the final profit take on this. Not too bad. Can't be mad about that. Good move there in CleanSpark. We'll see what happens if it keeps moving. All right, guys. SMH, you were on Tesla, key level of 51.4. Which one? Shake my head. Did not see that. Lost on the trade. Hey, that's how it is, man. I was looking at that Tesla level early on in the pre-market. If you scroll back the tape, you'll probably see it, guys. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Nice little recap. Going to keep battling. Like always, stay positive out there, guys. It's not easy to trade. That is 1000% sure. But if you can focus on what you're doing every single day, take a moment before the market. Remember what works best for you and get after it, traders. I'll see you guys back in the morning. That's what it's all about. Transparency. We'll see what happens on this CleanSpark. Can we get that lift right back up? Will Tesla keep going down? Will VEV make the lift? IVP traders, you guys been killing it probably. I wish you guys the best. Stay safe out there, traders. Keep battling. There's always more to go through, and we'll keep battling right here. Remember, let me know in the comments, what do you want to see more of? Is there a learning lesson you want to look into? Let me know, guys. We'll take a look at it. I'll see you guys back tomorrow morning.